Days Coal. Days Coal is raw anthracite carbon. Now, this specific element comes straight from the Atlantic Ocean. It's something that's formed and created by the current, and the tumbling, the rolling on the floors of the Atlantic Ocean. So I gather this piece, and I crunch it up in the powder form, and I make it available for people to use. You can do anything with it. Well, it has multi-uses for the human body, of course. You can also use it on pets and plants, infants, toddlers, adolescents. It's safe, 100% safe for the human body. But the most interesting thing about this mineral, this type of mineral, is anthracite. Anthracite has at least 80 to 90% raw minerals in it. Lignite has at least 20 to 30%. It's not as packed with minerals.
It's raw carbon straight from the Atlantic Ocean. Here it is in my hand. I crush it up into powder form, activated and insulated with coconut husk, and make it ready and prepared, available for you. Unless you want metals in your body.
Brother, I wrote about the stars. I wrote about the moon. I wrote about things in the sky that go boom. I wrote about death. I wrote about life. I wrote in the morning, afternoon, and at night. I constantly search for new ideas. I talk to my elders, my friends, and my peers. I study astronomy, history, and religion. My analytical mind is constantly on a mission, struggling and striving for the perfect poem, bracing myself for the perfect brainstorm. The more that I write, the more that I note. My best poem yet is yet to be wrote. Yeah, Yahssini.
Holy moly donut shop, huh? Say to the guys, holy moly donut shop.
Holy moly donut shop. Holy moly. 40 leave them like a donut. Moly. Pull up and shoot like Geno. Can't wear the rollie without the polo. Holy moly. 40 leave them like a donut.
God, I wish I never spoke. Now I gotta wash my mouth out with soap.
Oh, here we go. Okay, that's good. Here we go. I didn't expect that. You know?
Tazz, are you mute?
Oh, I was talking and I was muted.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's okay. Let me start
back.
all over again. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us one more time under the new title, Vitamin C, the Science of Activated Carbon. This is part 2. Make sure to go check out part 1. I have some wonderful guests for you guys today. We're about to get it in. We're gonna talk health. We're gonna talk about the ocean. We're gonna talk about orgonite. We're gonna talk about some carbon, activated carbon, and many other products that are good for your health. And we thank you so much for joining us, for waiting for so long. And let me address the first responders first of all. that have come and joined us. There was a lot of people that arrived early this time around. I appreciate y'all for that. One of the first one we had was Latasha's 80. She said 804 is ready. Fire.
Peace, Latasha.
Glad to have you here. Homie Clown is here. Talking about let's go. Nathaniel Bay is in the house. I had to get a close seat for this one. I'm here, bro. Ashe. Ashe to you as well, brother. Ashe to you as well. We
Peace.
have Jasmine Xchel in the house. She says, hey, at Tazz Show. Let's get it in, bro. Let's get it in, sis. You're gonna like this show. There's a couple of things that I'm sure that is gonna catch your attention. We also have Universal Empress in the building. Greetings to the chat and the host. Thank you so much for joining us, sis. As always, we have the Empress Yahssini with us. Yahssini in the house. She said peace to all the early birds in the house and the front seaters. We have Gemini 9 in the building. Peace and love, sis. Great to have you here. Great to see you one more again. We also have Denise Mendoza. Salutations, peace, everyone. Looking forward to the show. We have Alicia Ho in the building. We know that she was a previous one before, so we appreciate you, sis. Thank you for being here.
Peace.
Always here present. The goddess herself, Kai the Creatress 99. Appreciate you, sis. It's good to see you. Good to have you here. So with that said, now that we've addressed most of the people that are here, um, I wanna get to brother Gary from Days Co. He is our guest, and we'll have him introduce himself, tell the people who he is, where they could find him, and we'll go from there. So, brother, could you tell the family who you are and where they could find you?
Um, right now, I for 12 years have been using this raw condition for myself. I've been selling this to people, providing daily school to the people. For it, it benefits people in a way that I could possibly more than at
Yeah,
first
we're
when I originally
kind of going in and out, brother.
was going in and out.
Yeah, it's going. Your thing is going in and out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's no mental feedback. I think. Yeah, Wi-Fi. Let's see if it stops.
Yeah, I think you might want to check your mic just to make sure that we don't want to miss nothing from from you, so we want to make sure that we hear you real good when you're speaking. There's some type of like stuttering on not you stuttering, but the the sound is coming in at
Hmm.
yeah. Go ahead, go and try it again, brother.
There's a lot of delay on my end, so it does take a little while for some of the words.
Hmm.
Okay. There's a little on my
Okay.
um, but they for I've been using this product personally for myself. I've been selling it to people for at least 2 years now.
Hmm. Cool.
The most amazing thing about this product is the fact that people have found more than 13 uses.
Those are facts. Those are facts.
Straight from the Atlantic Ocean is anthracite carbon, and we being carbon beings from this in so many ways. I'm in broken speech because there's a delay, so I don't think you guys
Right.
hear the delay. I hear it.
Yeah, can you check your mic real quick? Probably your connection's having a problem. I'm not sure if it's that, and we'll get back to you once we have that ironed out. Maybe if you leave and come back in and reconnect everything, maybe that would do it. So we also have the goddess, the empress herself, Marcia Owens, joining us with her husband. Uh, if you could tell the family, sis, who you are, where they can find you at.
Marcia Harris Owens on Facebook is the other way around. Marcia Owens Harris of commonsense4u.com. It's flashing up on the screen now. I do bath and body products. My husband does Organite. He's blackstarorganite.com. And he's been doing that for a few years. He's a master mechanic by trade, but he likes to solve problems. So that's what we do at our house is we find solutions for issues.
Most definitely, and also, if you do find her on Facebook, be sure to check her out on her group under Sopapalooza, which is a great group that she has available for the people with a lot of her products. Aside from her website, just in case if you want to check her out on Facebook.
Yeah, most of my stuff isn't on my website. So I encourage people to call me directly and have a conversation with me. It's free. Sometimes they have things that are already in their home that they can use. And I'd rather them figure it out themselves than make a purchase from me. So it's not all about the money. It's more about the education.
Wow.
Facts. And I've been following you and your teachings for a while, sis. And I want to encourage the family, to check her out. Go to her website. Make sure that you check out her stuff that she has available, health wise, and be ready to be amazed. So we got a long one today. I got a whole PowerPoint ready for you guys. We're gonna try to run through it just to make sure that we have some idea of what this subject that we want to talk about today, which is the science of activated carbon. All right, so let me share my screen real fast so we could so we could get that going. Again, thank you for being here. Be sure to like, share, and if you haven't subscribed, go check us all out on all our channels. As far as for me, you could find me under the Tazz Show on most platforms, but you could also find me under Tasmaniac TV as far as on YouTube. If you're looking for me on Facebook, you have to look me up as Tasmaniac Wolf, or if you want to contact me through my business email, feel free to contact me through Campos Academy LLC at gmail.com. And you could also find me at YahssiniUniversity.com, which is the sister Yahssini. She'll give you guys a little more when I get to her right now. And all my products that I do are over there under Tazz Studio Productions. We do website editing, both me and Sis. We do video editing. We do we have a lot of products that we offer, and we also promote a lot of the products from other people within the conscious community that are doing similar things that we're doing. So you're gonna find these products in there, so you could have an idea of how to contact them, as well as the sister Marcia, under Black Star Organite. You find her products with a link to her stuff, so you guys could arrange, to have stuff from her or whatever. So what we're trying to create is a source. It's a source for all people to be able to have different connections for all these different people that have so many offerings to have. Now, Sister Yahssini, can you tell the people who you are, where they can find you at?
Yes, I am Yahssini of Yahssini in the House. That's my YouTube channel. I also have Yahssini University as a YouTube channel and online university. And that's where Tazz and I hook up to sell products and bring you his PowerPoint presentations through his shop. That's where my online Simply Stone jewelry store is at. So stop on in, YahssiniUniversity.com, if you already haven't. Okay.
Thank you, sis. Appreciate you for that. Now, if we could get to this PowerPoint, uh, share my screen. All right. So before we even get started, I want to make sure that I shoot out a disclaimer out for every. Can everybody hear me fine? There is no feedback, no echo or nothing behind me.
Good.
You can hear me fine, sis?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. So as a quick disclaimer, all right, I'm gonna read this out to you guys. It says your skin and body like you are unique. While we have taken all the measures to ensure that the information provided in this PowerPoint and our social media channels is incredibly and credible and expert verified, we recommend that you consult a doctor or a dermatologist before trying a home remedy or a quick hack or an exercise regime. All contents, including the tips and suggestions, is entirely based on research and data available on the internet. This is not something that has been hidden. You could easily find this information yourself. I just done the point of putting it in a powerful format. So it is advised not to construe it as professional medical advice and consult a doctor before making any changes on your diet or any regimen that you decide to put on your skin. That's just, so you can come back over here and tell, Taz said no. Taz just gave you some information and it's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. All right. So moving forward, I want to give some credits and some sources. Big thanks to both authors of this book that not only inspired but provided most of the information found within this PowerPoint. To get 100% experience of the details of activated charcoal, you are seriously encouraged to purchase both books. You can find both of these books at my website, and they will come with this PowerPoint and another format that I also do. I'll email you a version of the whole PowerPoint itself that will be available for you to either teach your kids. It's fully in color. Everything you find in the PowerPoint will be right here. So if you're interested, go check it out on YahssiniUniversity.com, and it'll be there right there available for you along with both of these books. Um, like I think we've been through this one before. You guys know where to find us. I didn't get a chance to put a Sister Marcia in there, but we'll start with Days Code. Did we get the whole situation with the mic together, brother?
Is there no more echo? Can you hear me clearly, or is it still coming?
Could hear you a lot better than we did before. Not as 100% great, but we could hear you a little better than before.
Okay. Let me see here.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
So I have your stuff flashing in the screen, so people could go check it out. His main place is on TikTok, so be sure to go and check him at Sheriff78 or just search for Days Cole in on TikTok. You'll be able to find him over there. He's got a large following, and he goes live quite a bit, whether once or twice a day or every other day. So you be flooded with information when it comes to activated carbon. So be sure to go check him out.
So basically, you're seeing the family jar and the private jar. That's what you were looking at there. Both jars that I sell exclusively on those channels. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook under Sharif78 and Sharif7.
Okay. And the jars he's speaking in regards about, we're gonna we're gonna get to him. But this is family jar that he has available for the family, and this is his personal jar that he has available for the family. So be sure he activates the charcoal himself. We'll get more into it as we get to the PowerPoint, as well as with Sister Marcia. Actually, before I even do that, now that I remember that, so, just to give you guys an idea of what Sister Marcia was speaking in regards about, this is one of her of the things that she has you guys can make something similar to this, right? Or this one was one that you guys gave to somebody, sis?
We did the Organite Ankh, and then we worked with another artist who rapped it for us, called Freestones, Phre. He does some really unique copper rap work. He's like 5 minutes from my house. So we collaborate a lot because he's pretty much the expert on rapping things that somebody else made and he can add to it. So he did all the wire rapping.
Okay, okay. And this one right here says, this one, your husband is the one that makes them, correct?
Yes, he makes all the pyramids and the pendants, the wall art, the charging plates, you name it. He can make it, keychains. He does all of that.
Okay, okay. So this is just a couple of the example. I love this one because it has the Eye of Horus right there. And, you know, if you pay attention, you won't catch it. But that was one of the intriguing ones for me. This is another one. Is just more of a thinned out version and a taller version. It seems, right?
Yes, that's the Nubian pyramid.
Okay.
How tall is that?
Yes.
How tall is it? How tall is this?
It's about 7 to 8 inches. He's finna go get it now in the tape measures in it.
Yes, that's a little bit over a half a ruler. That's pretty.
Yeah. It's about 7 inches tall, and I think the base is 4 inches. So that one is standard pyramid.
Okay, okay.
Which is what you're used to seeing, or the one that's a little flatter.
Oh, okay, okay.
7. Yeah, okay. That one is 7 inches tall.
Wow. Oh.
Right. Well, I mean, I know that the beauty of them and the work behind them, it's just amazing. So you know, it's very very intriguing work. Now, if I'm not mistaken, sis, and correct me if I'm wrong, the brand of soap from Organite, that's his recipe.
Yeah, that's the recipe he makes. That's the Shungite soap.
Oh, that's the Shanghai soap. Okay.
Yeah, that's his soap.
Okay, okay. And I also advise the family to grab it. Let me take this one off the screen. If you take a look at my son doesn't use none. If you see the one on the right hand side on the very top, that's his goat milk soap.
Yeah.
I just had a son on June of last year, and that's the only soap that he uses. We purchased a whole box. We still have a little bit left. I will be coming to see you soon, sis.
Okay.
It works wonders. You know, those are some of the other products that they have. I also have my own carbon, activated carbon under Tazz. Tazz is Black Magic, so you guys could check that out on my website. But these are some of the soaps that sis also presents in her website and stuff like that. And just as a visual, you know, some of her soaps they all have organic materials, right?
Yeah, they're all organic. They're all vegan friendly. Some have scents and colors, some don't. It just depends on what the person likes on that level. But we use quality oils, and I try to keep things as natural as possible, but when people start asking for scents and colors, that's on them.
Right.
I would try to steer them in the other direction, but you know, the customer's always right, so I just leave it alone.
And with what we're doing right now, you guys do offer
charcoal soap.
Charcoal.
Yeah,
soap.
That's an activated charcoal soap. We call it black soap, and I have to explain to people that it's not African black soap; it's activated charcoal black soap.
That is awesome. So if you're looking into any of these things, please be sure that you contact Marcia Owens. You could find her. Where is her website? I have it right here under commonsenseforyou.com. Make sure that you check her out. She has so many stuff, and if you don't see something that you like there, go. She got more products in her.
The Soapapalooza group is where all the soaps are.
Right, the Soapapalooza group, which is where all the soaps are. That's just the variety that you're gonna be able to find. I just wanted to make sure that I put some of them out there for you.
Thank you.
Which one? This one, sis.
That's activated charcoal and aloe vera.
Ah, okay, okay. So there is a plethora of different soaps that you're gonna be able to see, that you're gonna be able to enjoy. So days cold to the world, says Denise Mendoza. We appreciate you, sis. So yeah, just make sure that you guys check her out on her website and everything else, so we could get you guys the correct stuff that you guys are looking for, and or any other materials. Now, brother Day, is there you were saying earlier, my apologies, you had some difficulties with the sound. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, I'm also on YouTube as well, Instagram, Facebook, Dice Roll, Born and Height on Facebook, on Instagram, Dice Roll, Loose Lips Larry, TikTok, Sharif78, Sharif7. On YouTube, it's Days Cole. And one of the things that I do with my product is every single person that I sell Days Cole to, you have to communicate directly with me, as opposed to how when you deal with toothpaste. You don't speak to a manufacturer, and they tell you if you swallow this toothpaste, you got to get help or call the Poison Control Center. But with this, you swallow my product or use it for whatever purpose you want to use it. Consider me a wholesaler. You just have to live your life after that. You don't have to do much with this product except for ingest it and let it do its thing. So I'm very easy to get in touch with, and I make sure that it's very personal and quick, not a long, drawn-out process. It's just like going into a store where the vendor's right there at the counter. You got what you want, you get it, and then that's it.
Great. Thank
I
you
like
for
the
sharing
how coal and carbon comes to the shoreline. Just
that. We will be asking that question, brother. We will be asking that question. So we appreciate you for sharing that. You guys make sure that you like the video. You know, share with your peoples and all the platforms that you has. With that said, you know, let's get to this PowerPoint so we could learn something about activated charcoal. And you know, and if there is any questions that you guys might have for either Days Laboratories or Marcia Owens from Common Sense, please post them in the chat so we could so we could get you some answers in regards to what you guys are asking for. So let's get back to this PowerPoint here. So I'll start off the first reading, and I'll let Sister Yahssini and anybody else that might want to read, you know, get into it. So as an introduction, it says, if you discovered a product with healing abilities that detoxifies the blood and body, restores energy to the muscles, as well as the mind, provides anti-aging benefits like fighting wrinkles, combating cancerous growth in cells, maintain memory and cognitive function, would you be intrigued? Well, it's time to become one of the millions of people worldwide who have gained interest in the positive effects that activated charcoal can have on an overall health as well as the quality of life. This one unique ingredient has been developed into hundreds of consumable and topical formulations that can help resolve health and beauty issues like the reduction of high blood pressure, unhealthy cholesterol levels, acne, and more. All right. So that gives you a quick introduction of what it is that we're going to be looking throughout the whole PowerPoint. We're going to be talking mainly about activated charcoal and its capabilities as far as it comes with the health department and with beauty department. So the first thing we want to find out is, what is activated charcoal? So sis, you want to take this one?
Absolutely. So activated charcoal, aka activated carbon, is a form of carbon that has been specifically processed to have small pores. The pores help increase its absorption and adsorption and elements and its ability to engage in chemical reactions. Because it is manufactured for specific functions related to absorbing, exhaling, and reacting to elements, it is sometimes referred to as active charcoal. It's a form of carbon commonly used to filter contaminants from water and air, among many other uses. The activated charcoal we find in stores and through distributors is derived from a variety of sources, but it's all created with the intent of ridding pollutants, contaminants, or chemicals from an environment. Activated carbon is a material produced from carbonaceous source materials such as coal, coconuts, peat, wood, and lignite. The primary raw material used is any organic material with a high carbon content. So the carbon based material is converted to activated carbon through physical modifications and thermal decomposition in a furnace under a controlled atmosphere and temperature.
Those are facts. Those are facts. So when we look at activated carbon, the main qualities that it has available is its absorption and its adsorption, and they both mean different things because and the PowerPoint does come with an explanation on both of them. So all you have to do is click on them, and it'll take you to the to a quick link to different places where you'll be able to figure out what the specific word is. So when we're talking about absorbing, is to take in something such as water in a natural or gradual way. So it takes everything in when it absorbs something. That's kind of sort of like a sponge. When you utilize a sponge, it's gonna absorb the water. All right. So when we're looking at adsorption, which is completely different, even though they sound the same. Adsorption is the adhesion. All right, the AD just tells you that it sticks to something. All right, so the adhesion in an extreme thin layer of molecules, either gas, solutes, or liquids. All right, so those are the two differences between the absorption and the adsorption. Once we come to understand those two things, we realize what qualities the activated carbon has, and it gives us that through the pores, all these pores that the activated carbon has within it. All right. So you want to add something, Brother Day?
No, I'm actually I'm in tune with it as well because it's one of the bases that the coal does when it's crushed down in the powder form as it's moving through the body. It causes an adsorption of metals and ions as well. Yeah, so it actually relates to that completely.
Facts. You want to add something, Sister Marcia?
No, I'm just absorbing the information.
There we go.
So I got a question.
Go ahead,
it pulls in these toxins and makes them disappear?
Well, no, that's the thing. Because of the pores, we're going to get into that in the next slide, I believe. Because of the pores, the pores that it has. Imagine if you go into a maze, all right? If you go into a maze and they slap you dead in the middle, by the time you find your way out, it'll be long. So by the time these bacteria or whatever find their way out of the carbon then came out your body. You don't urinated it don't came out your pores, or you defecated it, whichever it might be. But by the time it even has a chance of coming out of the carbon, because of so many pores that it has all over again, not only was it absorbed, but now it's an adhesive that is sticking it to the carbon now. So now it not only did it suck it in, but now you ain't going nowhere. Now you're stuck here, and wherever I go, you coming with me. This toxicity coming with me.
I'm so glad I asked that question, because that was really I
really
wanted to know.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Go, Gary.
It collects in clumps after it passes through your body. It's like it's a filter within a filter.
Right.
Within a filter.
Same process coconut goes through when it insulates and grows its layers over the meat. Same process how it insulates, and it brings the electricity through the air in through its insulation, kind of like that Pink Panther stuff we put in the ceiling. The same stuff. It's just a different principle, because the husk, it's something about that husk. In my rudimentary understanding, it's something about that husk that electrifies and makes that coal magnetic. That's how I'm seeing it, you know.
Facts, facts. Those are facts. So moving to the next one, I'll read this one. Is what is the difference? Activated carbon versus activated charcoal. Now, two
Mm.
commonly interchanged words when it comes to carbon filtration is that of activated carbon and activated charcoal. When discussing carbon air filtration, you will tend to hear both of these characterizations stated, which can lead to many questions on whether they both mean the same thing or if they have their own meaning when used in filters to clean and the indoor air. An activated carbon air filter is a highly porous substance, which is what we just spoke about, that attracts and holds organic chemicals within the filtered media. The media is created by burning the carbon material without oxygen, which makes the carbon char, hence charcoal. All right, because it's coal but it's been charred, so now you have charcoal. So the char is then treated chemically to develop porous holes inside the carbon that allows the filter media to capture more pollutants in the material over time. The activated charcoal is the same thing as activated carbon, with both of these words being synonymous with one another. Thus, if someone says activated charcoal or activated carbon, they are speaking of the same filtration process. Think of it like the iron ore and the pure iron, which is one and the same, just different states. Coal is naturally occurring from carbon-based rock with various amount of impurities such as oxygen, hydrogen, sulfur, and nitrogen. Coal is a fossil fuel and are formed by dead plants from most prehistoric times. So that just shows you that, between these two, they are one and the same. But don't go into no store and buy you some charcoal and it don't say activated charcoal, because the stuff that you're gonna, tomorrow most of the family is gonna be celebrating their enslavement. I mean, I'm sorry, their independence. So tomorrow you're gonna go get you some charcoal because you need you some blood in your system. So you're gonna go grill you some meat. You're gonna go grill you some chicken. You're gonna get you a couple of dead animals, and ingest them. You're gonna have some pig in there. You're gonna have some of everything, and you're gonna chow down. And you're gonna go
Yeah.
buy you some charcoal for that. That charcoal has too many impurities in it. It is not for you to grab and grind it down and I got activated charcoal, Tazz. No, you a fool. You a fool. You a fool, and you about to kill yourself. That's why I do my disclaimer. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I got some samples here that I got from Pennsylvania. I went to a coal mine, in fact, here in Pennsylvania a couple months ago, and I got this subbituminous. This is subbituminous coal. It's got the same texture as rock. Like, it has no minerals in it whatsoever. It's hard, it's shiny. It's not as brittle as this carbon is. This carbon has a little bit more. It's dense like a iceberg would be, but it's less. It's less hard and brittle like a rock. This is what I think was. It's anthracite, just like you mentioned. There's lignite, anthracite, subbituminous, and bituminous coal. And the bituminous coal is what they make that you mentioned. It's the charcoal and steel roads and railways and ironworks and metallurgy and stuff. That's what they make this charcoal with right here.
I'm glad you were able to show the family what the differences are.
Absolutely. In Pennsylvania, I just want to say real quick, in Pennsylvania, they got clumps of this stuff sitting on the side of the street. But the streets are horrible in certain parts of Pittsburgh. It's horrible. But they got clumps of sticky, unused charcoal just sitting all over the place in pockets. I was amazed. And it's dusty in the air, but whenever I'm crunching up the carbon, the raw carbon, and it starts to create a powder form, it doesn't congest my nose the same way that it would with charcoal. So it's such a difference.
Right. So now that we've learned the difference between activated carbon and activated charcoal, let's keep it moving to the next one because our largest carbon reservoir is found where? Because we're talking about this. This is vitamin C. We're talking about the ocean. All
That's
right.
right.
So the biggest carbon reservoir is the ocean. All right. And before
Right.
I let Sis read this slide, let's not forget that on the first part, I reminded you guys, or I let you know if you guys didn't know that oxygen comes mainly from the ocean. But what
Mhm.
is required for oxygen, Taz? Oh, well, you need that CO2. What CO2? Oh, you carbon? You need the carbon dioxide? Yeah, that goes in all the algae and all the plankton that they have inside the ocean. 80% of the air that you breathe comes from the ocean. Taz, I thought it came from the trees. Well, guess what? 80% of it comes from the ocean and not the trees. All right, it comes from the algae within the ocean. Go check out the first part where we break down another concept of the ocean. But right now we're talking about carbon, so we're gonna stick to that. Sis, can you enlighten us with this slide, please?
Yes. So the largest carbon reservoir. The oceans are the world's largest active carbon reservoir, absorbing about a quarter of human CO2 emissions to the atmosphere. So, ocean circulation and biology help transport carbon down away from the atmosphere and into the deep waters of the interior ocean. The ocean, with around 38,000 gigatons of carbon, that's gigaton equals 1 billion tons. Okay? So that contains 16 times as much carbon as the terrestrial biosphere. That
Well,
is, all plant and the underlying soils of our planet, and around 60 times as much as the pre industrial atmosphere. For example, at a time before people began to drastically alter the atmosphere's CO2 content by the increased burning of coal, oil, and gas.
so
Hmm.
that is a lot of carbon in the ocean,
Oh
sis.
my goodness.
That is a lot of, it's got 16 times as much carbon as the terrestrial biosphere. If you don't know what the biosphere is, I have right here on the top right, top left hand picture on the side. It shows you that the biosphere is the area where you find all living things. You know, the earth, on the ground. You know, the rivers or oceans. That will be your biosphere, and it's got 16 times more than that. That is complete insanity. That's a lot of, not only that, but it has 60 times as much as the pre industrial atmosphere. That's
Hmm.
before they started throwing coal into the air. That's a lot of carbon in the ocean. What say ye, Brother Dave?
It's a lot of space. There's a lot of room. There's a lot of abundance. That's what I'm seeing. You know, I mean, this PowerPoint, it's actually opening my eyes to a lot of things in this. Like I looked at it before, but just the explanation, it's memory, man. It's really great. But it's like there's so much. It's so much bigger. Like 38,000 gigatons.
Hmm.
38,000 gigatons. We
Right.
won't even live long to go that span of space. Like, I mean, and we've
No,
only found charcoal and coal. Imagine there's probably a flower at the bottom of the water that heightens your intelligence or something. I don't know. It's just
it
38,000 is
I
a
agree.
lot.
I agree. I agree, most definitely. Much love and respect to the sister popcornologist. Thank you for being here, sis. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoy the show. It's going to be a good one. And as far as brother Yaya or sister Yaya, I'm not sure if I can't tell from the picture, but it says thankful for you guys and your commitment. Uh, we at this time, you know, under the stuff that they're putting us through, you know, we have to get this information out there to the people, you know, just to have some type of way of detoxing because all of us have made a mistake down our path in which we have ate the wrong things, we have ingested the wrong things, we have drank the wrong things or whatever. So we need some type of cleansing in our body. Oh, and brother Yaya said it. I'm a brother, bro. Get your stuff together, Taz. You get it together, Taz. My apologies, bro. but but yeah, I appreciate that. So moving on to the next slide, let's talk about the Egyptian history of activated charcoal, and I'll take this one. It says charcoal has played a role in a variety of applications throughout the history, with the earliest recorded use dating back to 3750 BC. It was utilized by the Egyptians and the Sumerians in the manufacturing process of bronze, as well as a preservative. Even in construction projects along the River Nile, Egyptians used fire to char posts in order to prevent rot once they were implanted into the wet soil. After discovering the preservative powers of charcoal, the Egyptians began using the substance in their process of preserving the corpses of the dead. Once wrapped in cloth, the bodies of those who passed will be buried under layers of sand and charcoal for preservation purposes. That is just fucking genius. The Egyptians incorporated charcoal in their embalming process as well. So we see that this is not no Taz. You want some new shit with that activated carbon? All right. Well, how about this been going on for thousands, millions, maybe even billions of years? Because that whole is 2020 whatever bullshit. That's that's another PowerPoint, but we'll get it into that. So we could see the fact that activated carbon, activated charcoal has been used for many, many, many different uses for a very, very long time. What say ye, brother?
I know that there's not everybody is in the same earthly, spiritual, metaphysical realm with everything, but those of us who do have a connection or alignment with past lives or past existences, I feel very connected to that because, as I stated, for 12 years, I was using this on my body because I had to. Financial hardships, no deodorant, no toothpaste, no soap. I had to figure something out to maintain myself so my job wouldn't know that I was going through some shit. You know what I'm saying? So just the intuit to let me pick this up. And this is floating in the water, and I grabbed it up. Just the intuit to know that, okay, this will do something for me. I don't know what it is. I just know that's that light code in the DNA. That's what that says to me.
Facts. Sister,
And I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated with that timeline, dating back to 3750. If I'm correct, then that's before the Greek.
Oh boy.
Before the Greeks and the Romans came in.
Don't tell that to the Greeks, sis.
I believe they didn't get here to like 3500 BC.
Hey,
Okay.
Taz, look at the address on the package.
The first dynasty is what I'm looking at, and I believe that precedes that. So
Yeah, most definitely. What you say, brother? I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry. If you look on the package that I sent you, if you still have it, just look on the address that I sent you and look at the 4 numbers on that address. I'm just now recognizing that right now.
Oh.
What I'm saying? What is that not alignment or is that not alignment? Wow. Okay, we're in the right place.
all right, I just confirmed.
The 3750 it's a part of the same location from where the.
Boom. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That's why, yeah, that date was shining out at me. Like, we had a lot of stuff going on before the others came.
Most definitely. You want to add something, Sister Marcia? All right, I'm gonna move on to the next slide. So, we talked about the Egyptians. Let's talk, we can't leave out the Greek because then their feelings will get hurt, and then they'll be like, but we did something too. All right. Well, you did something. Let's find out what you did. It says in 450 BC, in 450 BC, the charring of wood barrels, which is also pretty a genius idea. You charred the barrel, the wood that you were going to utilize to carry your water. The charring of wood barrels was a common practice to prepare for the safe transport of potable water on long journeys at sea. Obviously, you can't drink seawater, so you're going to need fresh water. In addition to water, a number of other foods and organic materials were transported using the char carriers. This practice led to the fine-tuning of charcoal in water preservation and purification that has evolved into the effective filtration and processing procedures we use today. The awareness that charcoal could be used for preservation or purification led to the medical uses that became popular during the time of Hippocrates and Pliny between 400 BC and AD 50. Around AD 78, Pliny wrote in Natural History, Volume 36, it is only when ignited and quenched that charcoal itself acquires its characteristic powers, and only when it seems to have perished that it comes endowed with great virtue. So only when it appears that it's dead because it's charred now. You're like, oh, it's burned, it's over with. That's it. It's worth nothing now. It's just burned wood now. No, pimp. No, how about it's only when it perishes that it acquires and it's endowed with that great virtue of healing, the properties of healing. And shout out to Brother Gary in the building. Uncle Gary in the building. Carbon is an intelligence. Brother Gary about to start dropping some science too. Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show.
Peace, Uncle.
Bronze Flat Power is also in the house. He says salute to the family. We say salute back to you, brother. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoy. Make sure that you guys like and share the video if you guys get a chance to. Brother Yaya said definitely before the Greeks. Yes, most definitely. What do you think about this, brother? I think it was a great idea to char the wooden barrels to carry your water because the absorption and adsorption it does wonders on the water.
And then when you're thinking about preservation of different pharaohs like Ramses III, who was in Mississippi back during his time, and they found his body was very well preserved. So anything crossing over the Atlantic had to be made of wood, so it's not causing disruption with that area and whatnot, with metals and whatnot. So transporting goods, just using a natural resource. I mean, I even use with my habit of creating the coal powder, I use a wood mortar and pestle, and I put it on wood mortar and pestle, stone. I'm using all the elements.
Ooh, that's genius, brother. I don't know if you could see it, but the mortar that I use when I create mines is the.
Oh, that's nasty.
Mm.
Like that. It's just got the pockets in it. I want because I lose a lot of coal in them little pockets.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to lose some within the pockets, but yeah, it is a great idea, Donna, because it takes away the impurities of whatever's in the air at the time while you're doing the grinding, the charcoal. That's a great idea. You're making me think to change the one that I have. But that's what about building, So wow, that's good to know. Good to know. So moving forward, Sister Yahssini, you want to take us with the next one? We're going to talk about activated coal filters, which is the best, one of the best, if not the best, filter that you could acquire for your water if you want to use it at your home, or anything, to purify your water directly coming out of your faucet. The vast majority of the best filters that you're going to find out there is activated coal filters. So tell us a little bit about this, sis.
All right, so clean drinking water is vital for the body to function. From digestion to waste removal, water plays an important role in maintaining a healthy body. However, toxins and other additives often find their way into waterways, subsequently, our drinking water. Okay, so one way you can ensure you always have clean drinking water is by installing a filter. Charcoal filters are the most commonly used filters in the home. They are clean, natural, and have many health benefits. Activated charcoal works through the process of adsorption and absorption as opposed to absorption. Okay, so the process of adsorption as opposed to absorption. It binds these impurities chemically rather than physically. The porous activated charcoal increased the surface area of the charcoal up to an extraordinary 2,000 square meters per gram, which drastically improves its adsorption efficiency.
That is insanity, sis. I mean, I'm not too good at math, but I know that 200 square meters per gram to be added to the porous activity within the carbon
That's
is
2,000, 2,000 pass.
2,000. That is a lot of pores. That is a lot of new places where you're gonna be going through and everything, which is gonna adhere to to all these toxins and just like you ain't going nowhere, pimp. You know.
Yeah.
You want to add something, brother?
I was just saying, I'm sorry, I was adding in. It's a straight maze. It's amazing. Like it's a labyrinth of it's just a filter within a filter within a filter. It's crazy how it works. How
Yeah.
it just comes.
And what a coincidence that we're now when Sister Marcia comes back, she stepped away, and I'm able to see that right behind, if I'm not mistaken,
Oh,
that looks like a water filter to me, like a water filtration system back there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why
That is
you gotta turn your camera off when you leave. We'll
that
be
is
all up
one
in
of
your
the
house.
biggest. That's one of the biggest filters that I've seen in a. Wow, that's got to be that one that they show on on the TV on the TVs and the websites or whatever. But I'm gonna ask her. When she gets back. She says she'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. But I see that that looks very much to me like it's a water filter. So in the case that you might want to create your own water filter to filter any type of water, even if it's whether it's in coming out of your faucet or just some water that you find, a good uh, 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 I'm not gonna say the best, but a good filter that you could create yourself is composed of the three things that you see on the left hand side with the water bottle. All you need is a simple Pepsi, Coke. You don't drank the poison, so might as well put the bottle to some use, brothers and sisters. You don't drink the real char, the real charcoal, so you might as well put the bottle to some use, and all you need is some gravel, some sand, some activated coal, and the cloth at the bottom to make sure that whatever's coming through comes out slowly and not slushing out, and whatever's left of impurities is going to catch on to the cloth. So that's a simple way of you making your own filter at home. Get you some sand, go to the beach, get you some sand. Go to Home Depot, get you some gravel. And go cost you that much to get you some gravel. All right, get you the small pieces of gravel and get you some days coal so you could go and cleanse this water of its impurities. What say ye, brother?
Did you know that it's illegal to collect rainwater in Florida
Yeah,
territory?
brother,
Yeah,
it's
it's illegal. But I'm not saying do it. But please do not go anywhere. If anybody's in Florida territory, please do not, absolutely do not purchase a water barrel for $65 at any Badisi's or ethnic Bohemian store and put it in your backyard. Do not do that. Specifically that way. Do not put dirty water, gravel, sand, coal, and cloth inside that barrel and put a water spout at the bottom so that you can drain it. Just absolutely do not do that.
Oh, shit.
most definitely, because the bees has touched on all angles, and if you didn't know, just search. There's a dude that just got locked up. I can't. He went to jail for like 30 days because they found 2 barrels of water that he was collecting rain. Like literally, these people done took over the rain, and now you can't collect rain.
Just don't let them know. And then oranges were legal. That's another topic, but oranges were made illegal like decades ago. Yeah, like rainwater. Denise Mendoza, she's she's coming from Trinidad. She collects rainwater. She gets the real benefit because the water's sweet down there in Trinidad.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so, can I ask if you're using a pH strip to test the water once it's been filtered with the cold?
You could just to make sure that you check the pH level.
Right.
You just gotta make sure
I'm,
that
won- I'm wondering if he ever does, because like from say like a 9.2, some smart water is 9.2, ain't it? But I'm
Hmm.
just wondering, what would that water be after it's filtered with the coal and pH wise?
I have not tried that. I will try that because, most of my approaches have been very rudimentary, where I just ingest it and I watch my body and feel my body content, how my body feels after I ingest it.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, for a decade, based on my metabolism, I haven't had any problems with situations. But I take it, I take the raw powder and I just sprinkle it right in the drink, and I drink it with the water. I don't even let it sit, don't let it stay, so it does its functioning as it passes through.
Oh,
But that's a very good question. I think, yeah, now I will get a pH gauge strip, some pH strips, and just see what it says.
okay.
Brother Yaya has a question for us, Brother Day. He says, wouldn't a land patent allodial title protect us from that? They wouldn't be able to intrude on land at that point.
A land patent by a loyal title actually would be beneficial as well, but one of the sources that they already have established, which it's not as commonly referred, the Universal Declaration for Rights, Universal Declaration for Rights of Indigenous People, Article 26, I think, UNDRIP. It says that you can grow anything you want as long as it's of land, there and whatnot. So that's an article that can be evoked on site if somebody should actually try to confront you about that. Now, using the land patent, that's something that would probably have to be filed publicly, and if addressed by any type of code division jerk off, or somebody who just tries to say, "Oh, you can't do this on your property," or whatever, a code division or HOA person or whatnot, yeah, you would have to actually file that into the case, and then maybe through administrative performance, stand on your square about it and stand up against it, because they would, I don't know, depends on how far they would try to take that. They got rid of oranges now, orange
Yeah.
trees. So one would probably have to be very prepared with an allodial title, as well as invoking their under Article 26 Universal Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People. They'd have to have both guns loaded, in my opinion.
For those that are not aware, Brother Gary from Days Laboratories, Days Co., is very well versed in law, Moorish science. The brother is a Moor. So just know that the brother's going to come at you from all angles. He's not just going to give you cold. There's a lot of wisdom coming from that head right there.
I noticed.
Still love it. It's a big head.
We appreciate that, brother. We appreciate that for sure. So with that said, that is, your average activated coal filter. But Tazz, I still don't believe you that dirt, that black stuff is gonna clean my water, Tazz. I don't believe you. I don't believe you that's gonna happen. Okay, well then, if you don't believe me, let's just watch it in action. So he who sees believes. Sometimes it takes for you to see it, for you to be able to believe it. So there it is. They tried it with iodine and with all types of other colorings. And all it took was a simple napkin just to separate the charcoal from the actual water. And it cleanses it that fast, that easily. And this is just with a little cup. Imagine what you could do with a larger amount of charcoal. Imagine if you don't go get a barrel and put it and don't put it on your backyard, and you don't put a charcoal filter on it. Imagine what the amount of water that you could filter that way if you were to collect the rain, but you don't collect the rain because you're not supposed to. That's just a big no-no. So don't do none of those things. But just imagine how much you could use. How much you could clean out by doing so. And the sister's back, and I really want to take the time to ask her, sis, please tell us that is a filtering system behind you.
Oh, you're talking about my Berkey.
Oh, it's a Berkeley.
Yeah.
What is that?
A Berkey, a Berkey. Berkey is a gravity-fed water filtration system. You can take it anywhere you want to go. You don't need electricity. You can put swamp water in it. It'll come out crystal clear. Mine has some additional regular filters on it, and then I have fluoride filters that I had to purchase in addition to the regular filters. And then I have silver coins in the bottom of it, Herkimer diamonds, moldavite, and elite shungite.
Wow! I'm making a PowerPoint, sis, on shungite and the organite. So I will be bringing you back for that one if you grace us with the pleasure.
Berkey does use a carbon-based filtration system with other elements to it. So it filters out about 99% of biological contaminants. And that's why I have it. I actually have two, one downstairs, the biggest one they make, and then one in my bedroom. After doing a lot of research about water filtration units, I found that was the best one to have that was gravity fed, that I could just take with me whenever. If there's a crisis, I can just grab it and run out the door. I don't have to worry about it. As long as I can get to some water, I can filter it through there. I don't have to worry about contamination. I actually, one day I put a pack of orange Kool-Aid in the water, and then I put it in the Berkey, and it came out crystal clear. And that's how you can check it and see if you have any leaks as well.
Wow.
Wow.
You just blew my mind with that one, sis. That is I heard of the Berkey, but I didn't know all that detail in regard. First of all, I thought it was something that you actually plugged up to a wall.
No.
So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna need electricity.
Oh, no. I try to keep things simple, and what I didn't want was something that I had to have all these moving parts to get clear water. So when I found out about the Berkey through my husband's brother, I was like, let me see what this is about. And then my husband did, of course, 10 times the research that I did on it. And then we made the decision to get 2 of them so that we could have water downstairs for guests, and then we have our own supply upstairs.
Wow. And how much would you say that one thing could do at one time?
This one that I have behind me, which is the largest one they make, it's a 6-gallon. And as long as your filters are clean, it'll take you about 30 minutes to run 6 gallons through there. And the filters, you clean them once a month, and they last, the regular filters last about 10 years. And then the other ones, the fluoride filters, you need to change those out twice a year.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so it is, you would say that it is worth having one then.
Yeah, you think about a gallon of water, if you run it through your Berkey, you're probably paying less than 10 cents a gallon. And you can use any water source. You can use your water from your house. I mean, you can dip the water out your toilet if you want to be honest. Swamp water. I'm just being honest, you could. If that's the only water you had access to, you better dip it and throw it in that Berkey. So you can use any water source that you can get to.
I'll definitely do that. If it all comes down to it, I will get the toilet water. And
I got a question. All right. You heard of urine therapy, right?
Yes.
I know everybody from Crime TV heard of urine therapy.
Yes.
Urinology.
Okay, so your urine, your body's supposed to be clean if you're gonna do that urine therapy.
That is correct.
Let's say we're in, the powers that their plan goes through, and we're all in a lost situation and all. What do you think about Cole and your Berkeley that you got as far as cleaning the urine to be able to sustain life?
If you could get your urine into the Berkey, it will filter it. It will take out the impurities. It will leave the minerals behind. It won't remove your minerals. That's what you don't want it to do. But those other contaminants, because, okay, say sometimes people have animals, and animals urinate in the water and defecate. Well, they can take that water and run it through the Berkey, and it will clean it. It will get all those impurities out, because that's one of the most dangerous forms of water. That's when I used to see movies and you see them drinking out the pond with the horse, and I'm like, what is y'all doing? No, that's why y'all got all these diseases. I see, but no, you could take that any contaminated water and run it through the Berkey, and it will clean it 99% of the parasites out of it. So you don't have to worry about those contaminants. They were making shower filters, but for some reason they've been out of stock for quite some time, because I had one on my shower, and I could tell when the filter was clogged, it had no more life to it, because then my skin would start getting dry. So, and I try to tell people this, even though I make a lot of bath and body products, if your water is contaminated, whatever I give you is not going to be effective. It's going to be temporary.
That's good to know.
Water is the key. You must have clean water. That's what happened to those people in Flint when their water got contaminated. A lot of them had skin issues and developmental issues. And somebody should have ran through there with 100 Berkeys and tell everybody to fill up, and they would have been okay. But nobody probably even knew that system was there. And then there's a man who created a machine where he can pull the water out of the air. So that's something else they could have used there as well.
His operation got sabotaged. He had to relocate.
They did. Yep. Yep. They went and tried to break into his equipment, but he rebuilt it. But he had to get security for it.
Wow.
Urine therapy is great. Urine therapy is great as long as you have clean urine, because the body filters. But if you're a diehard meat eater, you can't drink that urine. contaminated. So when I was growing up as a kid, they always told us if you ever got ringworm to go get the baby's urine and put it on the ringworm, and it would neutralize the poison in that ringworm and kill that bacteria, because baby's urine is clear, especially if they're breastfed. So they got the cleanest urine. So you want to get clean urine. And some of these products that you put on your skin are made with urine. You just don't know it because you're so used to using it. So like Eucerin sounds like urine.
Right.
Ha. So they just kind of played around with that. But a lot of skincare products are made with urine.
True.
And they may not get it from humans. They may be getting it from animals, but they are using urine as part of their chemistry.
Right. Urea, it's a hell of a business.
Yes, it is.
Most definitely.
You can also use coal as an additive to your shea butter, so you know if you don't want to put urine on your skin.
Right.
Okay.
Most definitely. So let's get to the next slide. Medical text. You want to take this one, sis?
Yeah. Following Pliny's documentation of charcoal as a medical staple, Claudius Galen, the most famous physician within the Roman Empire, researched and experimented with the substance, producing nearly 50 medical tests.
500 sis.
500 medical texts, and detailed successful charcoal treatments for a wide range of diseases. After the charcoal activation process was discovered and perfected between 1870 and 1920, reports of the successful medical use of activated coal became increasingly popular in published scientific journals around the world. Now regarded as a safe and effective application by the Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA. Activated charcoal is commonly used in a wide variety of treatments in homes, hospitals, and clinics throughout the world.
Most definitely. So that show tells us, how it grew, from the Egyptians finding out all these things, the Sumerians finding all these things, pass the information down, or I'm gonna say pass the information down. I say they took it, because the Romans can't help themselves but do nothing. But somehow, some way, the Romans came a hold of the information. So did the Greek afterwards, and coming into these times of like Pliny and these other people, that are known within the Roman and Greek empires. They left documentation because that's all we could find now. It's like, Tazz, why do you have these white folks here? Listen, if you could find me a source from way back then that comes from, from a melanated perspective, that they've actually allowed to stay out in the open, then that'll be great. But it's very unfortunate that when you do any type of research, you always first, unless you do some real deep digging, you're always going to bump into the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, and all these other ideas that they forced down our throat for thousands of years, hundreds of years, however long it's been. But, we have this text now, from this dude, specifically Pliny, where, he left over 500 medical texts, and he has opened, at that time, he opened the minds of so many to this beautiful charcoal that that has so many abilities once you process it a certain way, naturally process it, by the way, so it's great to have the information and for it to be there. So we'll go on to the next one.
Hold on.
Go ahead, sis.
So if it's so great at filtering out toxins, I'm assuming that goes for inside the body also.
Oh yes, most definitely.
Wondering why cancer is still around.
Now, charcoal, see, on the medical side, they usually try to only use it for emergency purposes only.
Yes.
And I know if you know about that, if somebody OD,
overdose,
they try to shove charcoal through their system for a
right?
reason
Mm.
to try to. So if you say if I was we're gonna call it an accidental overdose because them the words they've been using lately when it comes to celebrities, accidental overdose.
Right.
So say I take 30 pills because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get 600 milligrams of this vitamin, and I know my stomach acid gonna dilute it, so I need 30 pills to make the 600, even though the bottle say take one a day. You know, that's a lie. So I take these 30 pills, and I got about 30 minutes before it hits my stomach and causes a very bad situation. Now, if somebody can get me to the hospital within that 30-minute period of time and they shove that activated charcoal through my system, it's going to absorb all that poison. And I'll probably survive. But then I'll probably be under, psychiatric care for a while, trying to explain to them. Right, trying to explain to them I had to take 30 pills to get 600 milligrams of this vitamin because y'all lied on the bottle. But okay.
Yeah. Another way that they utilize it within the medical system is also for snake poisoning. If you get bit by a snake and you cannot find they cannot accurately know which venom it is that which snake was the one that bit you, and they can't create the anti venom. They will shove a activated carbon down your throat. Well, down your system, because they're gonna directly introduce it so it could just go through through your circulatory system and just cleanse anything all that poison that ain't supposed to be there is going to just cleanse it completely out, so overdoses, uh uh poisonous bites, even insect bites, and we're going to talk about all that, but that's a great question, sis.
Right, and I'm wondering again, why is cancer still here?
Because we eat the wrong foods.
Well,
allow and that makes the cells
cancer. We actually could
well, now when you're talking about cancer, we're gonna have to talk about the United States, because other countries that don't have all these choices of what to eat don't have these medical issues that we have.
Right.
I've been studying that. So, like in Nazi Germany, when they took over everybody's land, they took all the farmers' animals so they could have meat. What they found out was when the people could no longer eat meat and they had to eat off the land, the fruits and the vegetables, their health improved. Soon as the war was over and they gave them that livestock back, their health declined again. So you got to talk about the United States with these health issues, because these other countries don't have them that live off the land.
Right. And there's everybody, I think a lot of people are aware of the UPC list that shows different codes for different foods that are made particularly from GMO, or some foods are organically grown, or some foods are manufactured and reprocessed. I mean, those different codes on the back of those products tell you alone that, this is something that only comes here in North America, only here. And I honestly think we've been sold the impression this is the most impressionable place, but over the past 20 to 25 years, there's been so many new developments with food, resources, agriculture, economy, community means, social means in other countries. They're just expanding, and they're utilizing that awareness of what's naturally beneficial for the body. So it actually helps people evolve and change, and communities change up a lot more. There's so many different technological advances that are easily sold. Like the gentleman who made the machine that made water out of air, he had to take his equipment out of North America because he couldn't do it here. It was banned for the oppression that they're trying to keep us stuck in with things. And it's a strange shift that's going on. It's almost like we're becoming the first, second world, first country. First world country. You don't use first world or second world, third world no more. It's becoming the first, second world, first world country.
Wow. That's a hell of a way to put it. But it's funny you would say that, because we also have that. You guys could go look it up. Go look it up yourselves or whatever. But to make a quick add to what the brother was saying, we just recently experienced that whole shootout that happened in Texas, and by coincidence, there was a security guard that worked there. It was this black dude that he had just converted the gas engine into
Water.
water
So you
engine.
where you can run it off of water. Now he's not the first one who did it. He's actually the second one. The first one got killed too. They poisoned him. They just literally poisoned him at a meeting and he died in the parking lot. The second guy, so how that worked, and like I said, you have to look behind the scenes. This guy traveled like 300 miles to go to this one store.
What?
Yes. So the guy was the target and everybody else was collateral damage.
Damn.
That's why the guy was able to walk out the store and just be arrested. Wow. They didn't open fire on him or nothing because the guy was the target. Right. Because if you make public that you got an engine that runs off of water, that means now the oil industry is dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they'll kill you before they let you kill their money.
Right, and not only the oil industry, but the new version that they're trying to replace it with now, with the whole electrical version, that'll go out the window too. Because why would I go buy a whole nother car based on a battery that's all it's gonna use is battery power? Now I gotta plug it up and I gotta jump up my electric bill when I could just use water on this engine that I already have.
And even with the electric car, you're still using fossil fuel to get the electricity to the car.
Those are facts.
So you're not winning.
How is it that they're using fossil fuels to fuel an electric car? I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. What are they using there? Just electricity?
Yeah, most definitely. Those are definitely facts.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Let me keep it moving real quick. So selecting your coal, all right? You read last, right, sis?
Yes.
All right, so I'll take this one down. It says, when activated charcoal is processed into powder, the original source plays a major role in its quality and intended use because it has such a wide variety of protective and preventive applications, such as gas purification, water purification, decaffeination, heavy metal extraction, sewage treatment, medication, air filtration, etc. The consistency and porosity or the grit can vary just as widely. For instance, in industrial environment and agriculture uses, the most commonly preferred product have a larger hardness or abrasion number. With organic, high-quality variety be and lowering differences and lowering cost. Selecting the right activated coal for your home application should be considerably easy. For beauty and health treatments, activated coal should have a higher density and low ash content. The fine forms of activated coal that should be used in personal application are readily available for those in searching. So the kind that you're gonna need for specific things varies. All right. So if you're gonna want something for personal use or ingestion, or or stuff of that nature, you're gonna utilize something like what Brother Day and Day's Laboratories with Day's Code is offering, which is a finer version. Now, remember, it could also be used for as a topical version, and to have a topical version, you're gonna want a little bit more dense of activated carbon. You're not going to want the actual fine version, because then you're not going to be able to turn the carbon into a paste. Well, not that you're not going to be able to, but it's going to take longer. It's going to take more of an amount of your carbon for you to be able to create this paste. All right. So to create this paste for a topical use for a wound or anything like that, you're going to want a denser version, so you know, of that. And if you depending on if you're trying to do filtration as well, then that gradually expands the size of which carbon you they all have the same properties, they all do the same thing, but different uses require different densities or different versions of the actual carbon. So that's always good to keep in mind when you are about to select it. Are you going to ingest it all the time? Are you going to brush your teeth and do this thing? Then this version is the best for you. Are you going to use it for a filter, or are you going to use it for wounds? That requires a certain density of the carbon, so that's always good to keep in mind. What say you, brother Dave?
Larger hardness or abrasion numbers, those are really key factors. I mean, I wouldn't understand the actual numbers, but as far as like the fine powder, I'd say part for part, or 1/3 to 1/4 of a teaspoon when you're applying it to any type of coconut oil, shea butter, aloe vera, anything that you're putting as a paste onto your face. You want to put it to the point where I'd say it has the same consistency as ketchup, mustard. Yeah, I like mustard. Mustard's a good taste. So, but with coconut shell, when you do the coconut husk, when you make ash out of that, it turns into a very flaky, loose amount of ash. So you need a lot of that. With activated carbon, you only need 1/3 to 1/4 teaspoon, or at least a teaspoon, and then you kind of balance it part for part with the coconut oil or whatever type of substance you choose to use as a facial or body wash. Yeah.
That's good. That's real good to know. Real good to know. You want to add something, sister? Oh, she's not. Yeah, she's not here. Or anybody else? No. I'll go to the next slide.
I can tell you all something real quick, and y'all may want to write this down. So y'all was talking about snake bite.
Correct.
So I found out by accident, okay, that I had brown recluse spiders in my old place. Oh. And I used to make this stuff for the face mask, and I found out the stuff that I made for the face mask, if I added colloidal silver to it, and put that on the bite, that it would draw the poison out from the brown recluse spider. So the thing that I used for my face mask was activated charcoal, the diatomaceous earth, and the bentonite clay. And then you hit it with the colloidal silver. Yeah, you need a high ppm colloidal silver. Now I make my own colloidal silver, but there's a military grade colloidal silver of 10,000 parts per million.
You make your own, or you make your own colloidal silver? Sis?
Yeah. With the silver coins, you run electrical current through it.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
There is a 10,000 ppm colloidal silver, and then you get you a TDS meter, which is the water meter, and then you pull it down with distilled water. You want to pull it down to somewhere in the 150 range if you want to use it internally on a regular basis. And if you want to use it for your face, you get pink eye, you have to have it like at a 20. So the stuff in the health food stores is at a 20.
It's at a 20, yeah, correct.
And that's all it's good for. That's what I laugh when I go in there. I'm like, what is that? You can feed that to your pets. You can put it in their water and use it in your eye as an eye wash. But after that, it's not going to be beneficial. You need a high ppm to kill the bacteria. So the higher, the better. But you don't want to go overboard with it. But there is a 10,000 parts per million colloidal silver.
Okay.
And what's the highest you make?
The highest I've gotten mine up to, because with the silver coins, you have to constantly strain it out. But the highest I've gotten up to is like a 700, because after that it starts getting dark.
Oh.
Yeah, and it has that metallic taste. But I don't worry about it. If I feel like something is going on in my body, I go hit some colloidal silver real quick.
Damn.
Does it take some of the silver from within the coin?
Yeah.
Does it do what?
Does it take like when you make your own? Does it dilute the actual coin in weight because it takes some of the silver from it?
Yeah. So when you're running electricity through it, of course you got it in the water and you got it on some them clamps, and you're running it through the electricity. So what's happening is it's burning off the silver, basically off the coin, and diluting it into the water.
Okay.
So the longer you leave it on there burning, the higher the content of silver is infusing into the water.
Does it decrease the weight of the silver coin in value?
It will, yeah, because you're burning off silver. You're burning it up. So eventually your coin is going to be very small. So you're going to get a coin you don't care if you lose it, if it's gone. So like you might just like, let me go get one from the pawn shop or something. But
so I got to think that, like, so at what point and what diameter of that coin does it begin to turn brown? Or does it change in shape that much? Or does the whole coin just turn brown and look kind of corroded?
No, the coin is going to start to dissolve. It's going to get smaller and smaller.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You'll not be able to tell that it was a silver coin after you didn't burnt it off so much into the water. It's going to just start dissolving the coin.
I'm doing it. Thank you. I got some homework to do.
There is a guy on YouTube, Tony Panlaresco, but his YouTube channel is Herbs plus Bead Works. Herbs, Herbs plus Bead Works, one word. And if you type him in, he's an alchemist beyond belief. He's in Canada, and he showed us how to make colloidal silver, iodine, how to do our own capsules, how to use essential oils and a humidifier. He showed you everything. It's just like he got so much information, it don't make sense. I'm trying to see. Herbs plus Beadworks. Yes. You want to get on his channel and learn everything you want to ever learn about anything dealing with alchemy. He is like the mastermind of alchemists. And you put in colloidal silver behind his, name, and it'll pop up the video of how you make your own colloidal silver. Or your iodine, or nootropic, which is brain food. He got all that stuff in it. He knows everything. It's crazy.
Wow. Well, that definitely opened a lot of doors, because I've been trying to figure out, how exactly to do my whole my own colloidal silver to up the parts per million that the ppm that it has, and you just taught me something, so I appreciate you for that.
And then, so the iodine we make, it's only 3 elements to iodine. So the iodine that's in the store is only at 2%, once again, because the reason they don't sell it higher than 2% in the stores, now you can make it yourself higher than that, up to 15%, is because people use iodine to make meth. And they need a high grade of iodine to make meth. So therefore, they don't sell high grades of iodine in the store.
Wow. Okay. By the end of this live feed, we're gonna know how to create our own charcoal, our own colloidal silver. We listen. You guys will if you do end up deciding to get this PowerPoint, I will send you a whole version of along with the PowerPoint on how to make your own activated
silver, activated charcoal,
and all that stuff, just so you could can have an idea, And
now most people are deficient in iodine. I don't know if y'all know this, but in the United States, they have killed most of the soil from having anything beneficial in it. So when you make your own iodine, you can test yourself through your skin transdermally. So once you put and Herbs plus Beadworks will show you how to make your own iodine. Once you put some on your skin, on your arm, if it's gone in 1 or 2 hours, you are deficient. If it lasts 12 hours, you good. Most people, it be gone in 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And what if you are deficient?
Excuse me?
I said, what if you are deficient? What kind of problems would you have?
If your iodine is low, that your thyroid is for your thyroid. It basically filters your blood, because people using fluoride, it knocks out your thyroid. So that's the problem with fluoride. It not only kills your pineal gland, it also messes with your thyroid, which is your blood filter. So if you're low in iodine, which most of us are in the United States,
Right.
you're going to have a thyroid issue at some point.
Wow. Wow. So now that wow, this information is just going to a whole nother level. I just love the fact that that we have so many minds available, because it's so much information flowing through. So storing activated charcoal. You want to take this one, sis?
Yes.
So
So
we,
one,
we already know who purchased the charcoal, how to purchase it, which one, how it goes about, what it's good for, and whatever. But once you get it, can I keep it anywhere, Taz, or do I need to make sure that something does not occur, in the process of you storing it? So go ahead, sis. My apologies.
okay. So once you've purchased your activated coal powder, you should keep it in a dark area or cabinet free of moisture and humidity. In general, it's best to keep your activated charcoal in a cool, dry space, sealed against the elements as much as possible. So the more exposure it has to air, the more it's going to absorb stuff from that air, and the less effective it will be later. So activated charcoal doesn't decay, but it can lose potency if it's not stored properly. The reason is that porous structure and absorbent nature, which begins to work immediately after exposed to oxygen.
Facts. So we got to realize, that this activated charcoal is not only used to ingest it, or for topically, or it's also used to clean the air. It literally cleans the air. So every time you expose it to the air, we all know the air that we breathe is not is not clean air, so it's full of impurities. So as soon as it's exposed to that air, it's gonna start sucking in that oxygen and cleaning out that oxygen, and it has an endless amount of toxic oxygen, all over the place. So we want to make sure that that you keep it sealed at all times, nice and sealed. It get you a well dark place, non-humid, because humidity is gonna create that liquidy stuff, like in the early in the morning, when you get that little breeze that you have on your windows, because of the fog or anything like that, and then that moisture is gonna be absorbed by your activated charcoal, and that's gonna start closing the pores within the charcoal. And the less pores it has, not that it doesn't work, your charcoal still works, but it's less efficient now than it was before, when it had 1,000 pores, and now it only has 800. And depending on how much you expose it, it's gonna keep going down, 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 down. All right. So the storing of your activated charcoal is very important, so we could keep the potency of the charcoal itself. You guys want to add something?
Well, I store mine in a glass container with a sealed jar, and then I put that jar into a Ziploc bag. Because one thing about activated charcoal, as soon as you open that jar, it's gonna go, it goes airborne on you. So you got to be careful. So it's best to have it double stored if possible, or just be real careful when you open a container. So that's when mason jars are a pretty good resource of a jar to use, or if you got any jar with a really good lid on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep it in my cabinet, but my cabinet doors are closed. So you can keep it in like your kitchen cabinet, because they usually don't get moisture in it, and that's a dark place. They're usually closed most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Several that I keep hustling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mason jar is good for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to get a glass bin, but I have a glass jars as well that I keep the chunks in, and then I keep the raw coconut husk in the chunks until I'm ready to grind them up. And once I open it up, grind them up and pack them in the jar.
Right. And if you get your Days Code, it will come. I don't know if you guys could see it within there, but
Yeah, we can see it.
The coconut husk within it.
Oh, okay. I see it.
So that is one of the specialties of Brother Day and his and his product that he offers. So moving forward, so now that we've learned about the history, and all this stuff that has been learned and found out about activated charcoal, let's talk about the health benefits. Now, I'm not going to give you all of them. Again, this is based on the book, on two books. The information gathered was a lot that I already had, knowledge that I had learned from other people, like the sis with us and the brother with us today, our guests, which have given us, so much throughout the years in regards about activated charcoal, but also the two books that are, like I said, they are available in my website, charcoalremedies.com, and Activated Charcoal for Health. Especially the Activated Charcoal for Health, it gives you 100 amazing ways of using activated charcoal. It gives you 50 medical uses or health benefits, and it gives you 50 beauty benefits. All right. So the book and I don't even know who's the author of the book. I'm so amazed by the information because it gives you recipes on how to mix it, and everything, it's the Activated Charcoal for Health, 100 amazing ways. It's a very, very good book. I recommend it. Not the author. I don't know who the author is. I could care less. The information. If you want to invest in yourself to have something like this, especially if you're going to be purchasing, activated charcoal from anybody, whether it's Days Code, or anybody else, you're going to be needing some information on how to utilize it for what. It's not just eating it. You might need a topical version or whatever. So with that said, just as an idea, if you need the book, let me know, or find it yourself. And it's not hard to find the book, but I recommend them. So let's look at the health benefits, But before we talk about health benefits, let's talk about some safety precautions, because we got to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's, because the beast will come to you. Taz, you said, but you never told them this, and you never told them. Listen, I am only offering you information, and according to the medical system that is in place, these are the precautions that they offer or tell us that we should have when utilizing activated carbon. So I'll read that to you. And it says, while activated coal is a non-toxic product, the safety precautions regarding its use should be acknowledged and understood before included into your everyday applications. With the ability to combat foreign and organic toxins, activated charcoal should not be consumed within 2 hours of ingesting medications, as it will block their absorption. So if your doctor gave you something for your damn whatever you might have, whether it's diabetes or whatever, please don't take this and activated charcoal both at the same time. Because it's gonna absorb your medicine, and it's not gonna do you no good. Then you're gonna be like, Taz, you killed my mama. I told her to take the charcoal. No, listen. Don't back task nothing, please, and just do your research and be cautious. Use precaution. All right. Now it says also with excessive use, as we all know, everything in excess, has its reprimands to it. So with excessive consumption, studies have shown that once activated charcoal has rid the body of heavy metals, it will automatically begin to remove vital minerals, which is detrimental to our body's well-being. Even though it can be used in the treatment of digestive disorders, pregnant and breastfeeding mothers should consult their physicians before using the product in any ingested form. As many other products, reactions, and should always, my apology, as any other product, appearance of rashes, hives, or redness indicates an allergic reaction and should always trigger an immediate discontinued of the use of the product. However, because activated charcoal is non-toxic and organic, irritations may be unique to a specific brand of charcoal that you purchase. Regardless of rash or no rash, always consult your physician to determine the use of it. Most important of all, before you give activated charcoal to a child, please consult your pediatrician for advice and counsel first.
Yes.
All right. So let's follow some precautions, for the health of our children and everything. Everything ain't good all the time. You drink too much water, you're gonna drown. You get too much air, your lungs gonna explode. But at the same time, I know people. I can't help it. I actually, brother Dave from Dave's Code, he's been utilizing everyday charcoal, activated charcoal use for the last what, a little bit over a decade, brother.
Mute.
About 12 years. So
Right,
far.
12. So with the
Um,
you utilize about how much of it you would say, brother?
I say the front and not in an actual measurement, the front tip of the toothbrush. I'll dab that into the toothbrush. I'll put a pinch into my drink, and if I can't handle alcohol very well, so I don't drink often. But the last time I did drink, I got a hangover from 2 alcoholic beverages like last year sometime. I took a teaspoon of cold powder the next day because I actually had a hangover. It absorbed the nausea feeling. I still felt a little buzz, but it absorbed the nausea feeling within an hour and a half. Um, Earlier you mentioned, earlier it states here that using it before 2 hours before ingesting any medications, as it will block their absorption. I was trying to find the notes on my TikTok, but there was a gentleman I was talking to in the comments. He bought the he had some type of cancer myeloma where he had received MRIs on a regular basis, and immediately after those MRIs or whatever that chemotherapy portion is that he would receive, he'd throw up a lot. So he had created a regimen of a schedule of ingesting the coal at certain times before his radiation therapy, so that he wouldn't throw up afterwards. And I think that's kind of interesting too. How I don't know what it's doing as far as the effect, but I know it does make sense as far as absorbing or blocking something that is maybe it's blocking an adhesion of radiation cells, if that makes any sense, to the body.
Facts.
In that way. So when he takes the cold, his digestive system, it goes through his endocrine system, lymphatic system, through the kidneys or whatever. It's blocking the adhesion of those, I guess, gamma rays and everything. I'm sorry if I sound ignorant about it, but the gamma rays are anything that's attached to the inside, the interior of his body,
Most definitely, definitely. So, so it's good information. Make sure that you use precaution with everything. Make sure that you consult your physician, your doctor, your family doctor, before you decide to take any other treatment, and just like we told you before, you have the most powerful source of information at your hands. Do something other than call, text, and get on social media with it, and Google some stuff. Not know when are the Kardashians gonna be next in my city. No, go find out some real shit so you can fucking do something with your health, something with your with your state of consciousness, and make it work for you, not against you. So let's talk about the pharmaceutical companies. You want to take this one, sis? You're muted, sis.
Well, with pharmaceutical companies making billions of dollars annually preparing and providing the public with medications for almost every imaginable condition, illness, and disease, it's no surprise that the average person worldwide is bombarded with numerous advertisements and marketing strategies designed to promote over-the-counter and prescribed medications. The adverse effects of this medical treatments many times um, aggravates current conditions, create new reactions, or even produce serious negative consequences that can lead to further disease, even including death.
And those are facts. Those are facts. Just like many of the stuff that we've utilized. Brother Gary from Days Code just finished telling us, how if you grab your toothpaste, and you turn it around, it tells you in there, if you swallow it, if you ingest this, run to the, to the poison control system. Actually, hold on. Don't believe me. Look at what Brother Day is showing you, because it says it in the doggone bottle.
It says that. But you know what's crazy about toothpaste is that when they do the commercial, they show this big swig of toothpaste on the toothbrush.
Right.
And you're only supposed to use a dime size amount. A tube of toothpaste should last you a year.
It should. Right.
But they show the commercial with this big old scoop of toothpaste, and that's what you do. You put a big old scoop on there and brush your teeth, and you don't think nothing about it because they got us hooked on scents, colors, and bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Typically, one tube of that regiment lasts one adult 40 days. A whole family, 3 weeks. You know what's going on?
If you use it properly, yeah.
Right.
But if you use it according to the commercial,
right,
you need to call the Poison Control Center immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Immediately, because I remember clearly when I was a kid, we were buying a tube of toothpaste in my household at least once, twice a month, maybe, because there was 3, 4 of us in there, and every time we grabbed the toothbrush, we were like, I want whiter teeth. Like, what? You want to die?
Did you ever feel nauseous after trying toothpaste? You ever feel like?
A couple of times, yes. Yeah.
It seemed like your pineal gland would hurt.
When I was in the service and I began having problems with the enamel on my, I used to brush my teeth with that stuff, and at first it would ache, so I tried Sensodyne. That made it worse. The Sensodyne is supposed to help your teeth get less sensitive. That just made the enamel thinner, just like in a way. Couldn't do that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So moving on, with what Sis read, these pharmaceutical companies are just making billions and billions off of us. And for those that are not aware of, are you aware of that the major pharmaceutical companies that dominate the world, like Pfizer and Johnson and Bayer and all of these companies, all of them are from the United States and Europe, and not all of Europe, but specific places in Europe. There's other ones in Canada, South America, and Africa, but nobody that gets to decide what they put into the global economy when it comes to the pharmaceutical products that they offer. It's always going to be this specific ones that get to push their idea,
The Rockefellers.
Yes.
Yeah.
They the problem.
Say it out loud.
The Rockefellers are the problem.
And as far as the toothpaste and using all that toothpaste, it's because people really do try to get their teeth to be as white as possible.
Teeth aren't white.
I told Tazz, I said teeth aren't supposed to be white.
They're not white.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed to be white because they're bones.
Yes.
So those of you who don't know that, your teeth are not supposed to be white. So stop putting all that stuff on there trying to get them white.
Yes.
They bleaching teeth like they bleaching skin.
Yes.
Most definitely, those are facts.
It's got to be destroying the that's on there. So.
Supposed to be
well, now fluoride, the chemical fluoride, before they decided to put it in the water and the toothpaste and whatever else they could, it has to be carried in a hazmat truck for one thing. If that gets on the ground, on concrete, it will literally eat a hole through it.
Oh my God.
So imagine you putting that on your teeth every day and you wondering why your kids got cavities.
And imagine all the people in the world still using Colgate.
And Crest and anybody else that they can get from the dollar store. That's why it's at the dollar store.
And accessible. That's why these companies are so lucrative and successful because they've got their so many subordinate contracted companies that give out all these different pre-imitations and broken down fine pharmaceuticals and it's right there. There's so many choices on the shelf.
Right. There's too many choices, and that's the problem. So people, and I talk to people about herbs, and people like, oh yeah, I take herbal. I don't call it medicine, but they can take herbs. And then I ask them, I'm like, so what do you brush your teeth with? And then they tell me whatever toothpaste, and I'm like, so you put herbs in your body, but you don't put herbs in your mouth. And they have to think about that, like, huh? Yeah. What are you doing? You're killing the good bacteria in your mouth by using toxic toothpaste. That's a chemical.
Right.
That's why you can't drink orange juice after you brush your teeth.
Wow.
Because it's a chemical.
Tazz, can I get the camera for 1 second?
Go ahead, sis.
Like this. I mean, not like that. Okay. America, stop using Colgate and stop using deodorant. All right. Thank you.
Most definitely.
Make your own deodorant or get it from somebody. Do you make deodorant?
I make a detox deodorant.
Okay. Yeah, get it from her, but stop putting that deodorant under your arm because you're closing off of one of your natural vents.
Yeah, you closing off your lymphatic system.
You are.
Your lymph nodes are being clogged up. That's why they having issues with their breast.
Yep, breast cancer.
I think that a lot of people do forget, and I do forget myself, is that the body regenerates itself. New blood cells every 7 days, new bone marrow 6 months or something like that. So when we catch it in between by cleaning out the body of everything else, the health really comes from ourself, our body running in its natural function way. These other things are just vices to do a little bit of cleaning, to do a little bit of correcting, and readjusting. You know, so it's deodorant. Okay.
What you got there?
My detox deodorant. It has a vegetable wax in it, shea butter, coconut oil, food grade diatomaceous earth, arrowroot powder, tea tree, and lavender essential oils. And that's a detox deodorant because you're supposed to sweat.
Yes. Okay.
And people I remember one day I was looking at a commercial and I was just like, before I knew anything about, chemical stuff. And I was like, this does say 7-day clinical deodorant. You won't sweat for 7 days. I was like, what type of madness is this? What's wrong with you all?
Oh, damn.
You're not going to sweat for a week? Where is that going?
Wow.
Like, I had questions.
Wait a minute. And then I bet you, even though you won't sweat for a week, the next day you still use it again.
So now you're really clogging up your lymph nodes. Nothing can breathe under your armpit.
Shit. Wow.
I was like, y'all crazy. Y'all sitting up here using something that say it's going to clog up your pores for 7 days. No, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah, for real.
It's too easy. I mean, within 7 days, an audience can forget with a new influence real quick. The power of suggestion has become so much stronger these days. It takes nothing to influence a whole bunch of people to just jump on the wave of something, and then it's jumping on something else, even if it's detrimental to self.
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely. And the problem with all that stuff is, is that these companies that we are dealing with right now, they've taken us, from potions to poison and alchemy to pharmacology.
That's under Agenda 21.
It's teach, sis. That is, so those are facts. So
y'all go look up Agenda 21 and you will understand what type of hell we are living in.
Oh,
most definitely.
Around you.
And when you get through with Agenda 21, go check out Agenda 2030. And you see what the end of all this calamity that they're creating is going to be and how well off we're going to be at the end.
Yeah, right.
But, potions to poison and alchemy to pharmacology. It says, at a time when the good has been turned to bad, natural has been turned to witchcraft. It is an almost impossible task to find honest medical treatment. So, in an effort to avoid complications, the holistic health community started delving into the natural remedies for treatment of common conditions as diseases, as you could see with the sister and the brother and all of us right here, right now. Uh, um, just as certain forms of ginger, turmeric, aloe vera, and coconut oil can all contribute specific health benefits naturally without the dangers of common synthetic medications. So, too can activated charcoal. With its ability to improve multiple physical and mental processes, activated charcoal can transform your health for the better. Enjoy the following list of health benefits. Let's not forget that pharmacy comes from the word pharmakia, which is used as sorcery, magical arts, and often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. So, go. That was a quick round of etymology for the people that have not searched for the etymon of pharmacy just yet. Go ahead and check it out for yourself. All right. Um, but it helps with heart disease. All right. So you want to take this one, sis, real quick?
Sure. Heart disease has become so prevalent among the U.S. population that as of 2014, the CDC identified it as the leading cause of death. 1 out of every 4 deaths in the U.S. is due to this debilitating disease. Because heart disease includes a number of cardiovascular related conditions, including strokes, heart attacks, and arterial conditions, the number of people who succumb to its life altering consequences or even death has risen each of every year. Thanks in part to research and in depth studies focused on risk factors of pre existing conditions that contribute to the development of heart disease, physicians are now able to identify patients who are at risk and promote healthy changes to combat their chances of developing heart disease. While smoking, alcohol abuse, a sedentary lifestyle, and poor dietary habits contribute to the development of heart disease, genetics and pre existing conditions, diabetes and obesity, can also increase the chances of developing heart disease. Implementing activated charcoal in your day to day routine can reduce the incidence of heart attacks, strokes, etc. Activated charcoal can provide the body with natural detoxifying elements that can cleanse the bloodstream of impurities and improve the blood flow throughout the body and brain. It can also improve the circulation of naturally cleansed blood to minimize plaque buildup, negate cholesterol within the arteries, and optimize the delivery of purified oxygenated blood. By incorporating just 1 teaspoon of charcoal into your daily diet, whether in meals, smoothies, etc., you can alleviate the incidence of heart disease effectively and naturally. Did you know that?
Facts, facts, facts. Now let's keep in mind that this is not a magic pill, family. So if you are going to implement this into your daily activity, please change the way you eat. If you're a couch potato all day, get your ass outside and go walk and do something. Because this is not a magic pill where, abracadabra, alakazam, and poof, and all of a sudden, your heart disease is just going to disappear, but you're steady sitting down to grub down the McDonald's and grilled steak and your hot dogs tomorrow, that you don't even know where it comes from or what it is, So uh, uh, please keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right.
Another thing, when we're talking about starting a new regimen with anything herbal, you want to start off slow. So even though that said 1 teaspoon, I wouldn't start off with 1 teaspoon because my body doesn't know what that is. I would start off with a 1/4 teaspoon and go a week with that, and then go double that another week, and then until I get to the teaspoon. I wouldn't start off with a teaspoon. because everything in moderation. And if you just throw something like that into your system right away, you can lock up your system.
Right. Those are facts. Those are facts and good, good, real good advice. You want to add something, Brother Day?
With that, as far as what I was mentioning earlier, 1/3 per 1/4 or part for part, I do use it every day, but I've been using it for a while. But other people, sometimes they may skip a day and skip a week. They'll just use it based on, I guess, based on the need. Like my roommate from whom I'm doing this live from right now, he likes to drink a lot of alcoholic beverages. His regimen ain't gonna change, but he does have time frames where he does feel kind of sick, and he tries it, and it makes him feel better. So it's like he may not do it all the time, but when he does use it, just in that instant, it's effective. So I've seen it that way, but I suggest that somebody actually has a pattern, because the body has to be changed. A pattern would actually, I guess, so. Sorry. I guess it would really. I guess a person could eat a whole bunch of fatty foods, and it will be ineffective. It's not going to lower your cholesterol rate. The body's going to just be overpowered. But over the pattern, like with 20, 30 years old, you had a pattern of eating all kinds of food and everything. If a person had created a pattern of 2 to 3 times a week, I would reasonably theorize that they could actually clean their body out completely within months. And that's without any complications, without any kidney issues, without any water retention, without any constant acid reflux, or without any problems that were already that were consistent and already far past being repaired. Somebody who just normally just eats a lot of unhealthy foods, they can help themselves out within months of having a certain regimen of taking the call on a regular basis, once a day, as they state. A teaspoon? I don't think that's too much, honestly. Even when I do demonstrations and live shows, people ask me, brush your teeth, and I gotta brush my teeth, and I put a little bit on it, but after a while, that little bit with that little bit and that little bit, and the live's going like 2 hours, I brush my teeth about 6 times, and I drank and swallowed it each time. So it's like I pick it in like a teaspoon. I do it live maybe 3 times a week. So that, plus I'm brushing with it daily, and I'm putting it in the smoothie, and I sprinkle it on the food. So I don't think it's a harmful amount if it grounds up fine enough.
Okay, so
smaller, dilutes with the liquid in our body.
Even so, it's ground up fine, and it's great, and it does what it should do. Shouldn't we only want it to just do its initial toxin removal, and then we want to start going back to balancing out our acid pH? So, meaning eat something that's got acid in it and let it come up. I would think until I start, say if I detoxed out, I wouldn't want to detox again until I start seeing some issues again. And then I would know, okay, I'm back on the acid side heavily again. So that's what I would think. Just because I know that we need balance, especially when we're talking internal.
That's true. For the reasonable person that is really paying attention to how their body is. Most people, they wait until they feel uncomfortable, and they wait until the problem, and then, as we know, that's the result.
Right.
And by then, the symptoms like waking up with a stuff right now. So,
Definitely.
Now, you were reading about heart disease, which is the number one killer in America now. This is the country for everything wrong, but whatever. Another reason heart disease is so rampant is because the magnesium calcium balance is off, and magnesium is what strengthens the heart. But you need it to be balanced off with calcium. Magnesium and calcium is brother and sister. So I had a heart murmur for 30 years, and I found out about the power of magnesium. So what I started doing was taking cayenne pepper capsules 3 times a day for 3 months. And then I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "You don't have a heart murmur." I said, "I know. I fixed it myself."
How'd you know that?
Because I found out that cayenne pepper, if you give it to somebody while they're having a heart attack, if you can get them to swallow it, it will regulate the heart back to normal.
Teach.
So I figured if it'll stop a heart attack, then obviously it must repair the heart. So that's when I started using cayenne pepper capsules 3 times a day for 3 months.
Wow.
That's like a complete reset and recalibration of the body to the point where the body does its normal thing after that, unless it gets hit with more of that.
Exactly. But because we're so low, and it's so many minerals that we're deficient in the United States, it's just mind-boggling. So magnesium has been removed from the soil. Iodine has been removed from the soil. All the micronutrients have been removed from the soil because we've overplanted stuff and didn't rotate the crops like we were supposed to do, that the natives told us to do, but we didn't do it. And now we got a problem. So we have to supplement. And the supplement is we have to have the right supplement and in the right forms and the right, we have to have a regimen. A lot of people start off excited about the herbs, and then they find the regimen is too much because it has to become a lifestyle. So then, but if you don't have, unfortunately, some people have strong wills. People like me, I need a teammate. So me and my husband have to do stuff together. So we have each other's back, because I'll fall down and he'll pick me back up. So like I'm supposed to be taking the vitamin D3 every day, and I'll forget, and he'll walk right in the room and put the capsule in my mouth because I'll forget about it. So luckily for me, he's there so we can be hand in hand in this journey. So a lot of us need cheerleaders. And I'm just being real. I'm not a person that's like, okay, I'm going to be exercising tomorrow and I'm just going to keep doing this for the next year. No, that's not going to be me. Right. I will probably do it tomorrow and won't come back outside for a month. That's how that works on my side. Now, somebody coming knocking on my door telling me, come on, girl, let's go for this walk around the block. Well, now I have no choice because now you're holding me accountable. So some of us need to be held accountable for our health. And yes, the person may not like it, but once you agree to it, then you got to get on the train. So that's why I said sometimes when you start off taking these herbs and changing what you're doing, you have to start off slow so you can get into a routine and in a habit. And so the body doesn't have what's called a Herkimer effect, where it starts feeling worse than what it should. And then you just stop taking it all together because now you done got scared. Because like, okay, I take moringa powder. Now on the bag, it says take a tablespoon. You should never start off taking a tablespoon of moringa powder, ever. A tablespoon of moringa powder out the gate will sit you on the toilet for about 4 hours if you don't throw it up first. So you need to take that a half a teaspoon and build up to the tablespoon. Now my husband is built up to the tablespoon. I'm not. I will not even try that. I don't care how much I dilute it. It's not going to work out well for me. So you have to build up. And most herbalists will tell you that when you start something new, you have to build up. Even if you take a drug from the doctor, they don't tell you to take the whole bottle in a week. They say take one every 4 hours, or every 8 hours, or every 12 hours. So, right, you have to get disciplined. So that's why they're trying to put you on a schedule when it's even take that medication, which I'm going to pass that. But that's because most of us aren't disciplined into a regimen of doing something every 6 hours, every 8 hours, every 12 hours. We want to do stuff once a day, like that one a day vitamin. It don't really work. But in your mind, you took it once a day and it's good. What you don't know, and talking about coal, most of the vitamins are made with coal tar and fluoride.
What?
Yes. So when they give you, a lot of the medication the doctor gives you has a fluoride molecule attached to it. You need to ask some questions. They probably don't even know that. So you're ingesting fluoride using pharmaceutical drugs and coal tar. So the oil industry is real sneaky. They want to get every dime they can out of their product. So they tossed it into human consumption.
Damn.
That's how we got fluoride. That's how we got toxic mercury fillings. Toss it into the human consumption. We are all walking human waste dumps. So these are things that they're not going to tell you. A lot of the elderly people coming up with dementia and Alzheimer's, they still got some toxic mercury fillings in their teeth. So every time they eat something, it outgasses. That mercury goes into their brain. Over time, now you got a problem.
Yeah.
They don't tell them that. So we just walking around here chewing gum. Outgassing mercury. Now we got brain issues.
A walking toxic bomb.
Yeah, that's what they have us as. They want to get every dime they can, and what better way to just throw it out there into the human consumption and tell them it's good for you and create a commercial and like, oh, you should brush your teeth 3 times a day with this toxic toothpaste and you'll have a great smile. And then it says 4 out of 5 dentists recommend. Can I talk to the one who doesn't?
Okay. Yeah. And why don't he?
I want to have a conversation with that person because they know something the rest of you all aren't telling us.
Yeah. I love that one. I love that one.
Damn.
Something else I want to mention real quick, and Tazz, you probably know about this, the Nepal cactus.
Okay, yeah.
And the prickly pear.
Uh-huh.
Nepal cactus is very medicinal, and it grows in warm climates, and you can grow it anywhere. I grow it in front of my house. It don't matter. But if you look up Nepal, Nopal cactus, and find out how medicinal it is, you're going to want to start using it. Other countries use it as their main food source, and it's very great for food, and it's very great powdered down into an herbal medicine. So that's something else we need to start incorporating, things from other countries that actually work. Yes. Most people, when they get sick here and they can't get the medical treatment they feel like they deserve, they will cross the border and go into Mexico.
Yep, like Dr. Baby did.
Yeah. Mexicans actually have and I don't want what is it called? It's a specific dish that they, it's a regular for them. It's called nopales, which is the nopal, and they eat that like it's a watermelon, like that's a, hey, you got nopales, and it's like something that I'm not sure if they're aware of the medicinal benefits, but I know that it's structured into their eating habits in that way, whether they know it or not. That is something very, very healthy. But aside from eating it, there is other benefits to it as well. So yeah, this is right and exact with that one. So that was heart disease. And let's get to kidney disease, because that's another one that is big within the world, but mainly within the United States. It's funny how we just happen to have the biggest problems in all of the world, and everybody else that's poor and can't afford half the shit that we could, they like living longer than us, healthier than us, and it's like, wait a minute, something's not adding up. The math is not adding up. So it says, according to the CDC, over 20 million Americans have some form of kidney disease. The kidneys are responsible for removing excess creatine, a waste product of muscle functioning, from the bloodstream. When the kidneys are overtasked with excessive creatine levels, toxins, overload, or even additives and unhealthy elements from a poor diet regimen, the kidneys begin to fail. According to the National Kidney Foundation, this five-stage condition presents few symptoms until the progression has reached a serious level require medical or invasive treatments. If you don't know what an invasive treatment is, that means that they actually puncture your skin and go within your body to do whatever it is that they're going to do. While diabetes is a major risk factor in the development of kidney disease, elevated blood pressure and blood sugar can also contribute to the onset and development of the disease. Because the condition is asymptomatic, meaning you don't show no symptoms in the early stages, and because the disease progresses gradually over a period of years, the NFK, or the National Kidney Foundation, recommends that at-risk populations be tested for abnormal creatine levels in the bloodstream regularly. The Black community is three times more likely to suffer from kidney disease. Numerous scientific studies. What we have two. You're in here twice, sis?
I didn't think so. Hold on. Okay.
There we go. There we go. All right, sorry. So the NFK recommends that at-risk be tested for abnormal creatine levels in the bloodstream regularly. The Black community is three times more likely to suffer from kidney disease. Numerous scientific studies have followed patients diagnosed with kidney failure who have declined. Remember, when you have kidney failure, the first thing they want to put you on is what is that thing?
Dialysis.
Dialysis. That's the first thing they're gonna put you on. They're gonna try to put a hole in you where you're gonna pee through a bag for the rest of all eternity. Now it says numerous scientific studies have followed patients diagnosed with kidney failure who have declined dialysis and opted instead for a treatment focused on the daily consumption of 6 spoons of activated charcoal. Ever since these studies indicated resounding success in returning the kidney function to normal levels, activated charcoal has been utilized on a regular basis. And in case you're like Taz, you be making shit up, bro. You just be putting stuff just to put stuff. I actually have the National Library of Medicine and the actual study that they did based on oral activated charcoal and how it helps, with people with renal disease. Guys, that's not the kidneys. Listen, your renal disease, if you have renal disease, you have kidney failure. All right. So, in case you guys are interested, the receipt is there for you to see. What do you guys think about this one?
So basically what that says is that your kidneys can't filter, they're dirty, and they're all clogged up. It's like sucking peanut butter through a straw at that point. And that's when when you finally figure out something's wrong, now you at the hospital in the emergency room. So what the activated charcoal is doing what it's supposed to do, filter out toxins. That's why they was able to get their kidneys back online with the activated charcoal, because it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, filter out the toxins. And I'm sure they had to drink plenty of water, which they probably wasn't doing in the first place. Because I almost lost my kidney. I had to get half of my right kidney cut 3 years ago. And they said it wasn't cancerous, which they were surprised. I wasn't. I kept telling them I didn't have cancer. I was like, I ain't got no cancer. What happened was I wasn't drinking water. I already knew what the problem was. I was drinking Gatorade like it was water. Like, that's all I drank. I drank every flavor of Gatorade. You can't even tell me a flavor of Gatorade they make that I haven't had. So every day I was drinking like 6 quarts of Gatorade. No water ever. And I did that for 3 or 4 years until finally my kidney could not filter out that poison. So when I finally went to the emergency room, they told me half of my kidney was black. And they wanted to remove it to see if I had cancer. So what I told the doctor was, well, when the whole thing turned black, you can have it. Because, look, I gamble at the casino. You giving me a 50-50 chance to correct this by telling me only half of it is bad. Well, I'm gone. So I wouldn't let them take it. And that went on for like 10 years. I wouldn't let them take my kidney. And so finally I was like, okay, y'all could take the half. And then they said they did the robotic surgery. I still got holes in my stomach. You know, the marks in my stomach from that. But it was from me not drinking water, only drinking Gatorade, eating hamburgers, hot dogs, gyros, French fries, not ever eating vegetables and fruit. And because, you know, when you live in the inner city, in the low income areas, let's just be real, it's a food desert. Mm-hmm. So you got liquor stores and restaurants and churches on every corner. Mm-hmm. So the first thing you see is the restaurant, the fast food restaurant. That's where you going. Yeah. If you don't have transportation, you're not going to make your grocery run. So even if you have a link card, EBT, food stamps, if you don't have a car, you only going to the store maybe once a month. And so now you buying all the processed foods to last for the whole month. All that stuff is toxic chemicals. It's pretty poisons. You might as well get a 5-pound bag of sugar and a spoon and call it a day. Don't need to buy the ice cream, the cookies, the pizza, the toaster strudels, the Pop-Tarts. Just get you a bag of sugar and a spoon.
Go ahead, bro.
If I can interject with what you're saying, things that you have mentioned, Black Star Organized, those economic and social restraint, sometimes district issues. But one of the other factors is our stubbornness to change our ways. This room that I'm doing this live from, before my roommate moved here, a very good friend of mine, older elder brother, he was getting kidney dialysis on a regular basis. And he died about 3.5 months ago. He was in his early 60s, and for the first 2 years that I moved into this house, I asked him constantly, can you please just try some of this cold? Can you just try some of this cold? I'm not going to force you to put it in. I'm not going to sneak it in your drink. I'm not going to sneak it in your food. It has to be accepted. And he refused. He didn't want it. Didn't want to put any water. He said water don't taste like nothing. That old excuse. He clung to that. He didn't want to try any of the cold. He was already into the process about it. And I do feel that based on what you're saying, 10 years it took them to come at you about getting your kidneys removed and everything. And still, now you only have scars remaining, no more holes, but scars, which means it healed. So I believe if he would have at least just began something, and he probably still would have been around a little bit longer. But his response is not uncommon. There's a lot of our elders, a lot of our friends. I mean, I have friends that are over 300 some odd pounds, and they're grown men, and they have children, and they smoke cigarettes back to back. I tell them to take it, chuckle it off because we've known each other for decades. And about 3 weeks ago, one of our friends of 20 some odd years had a heart attack. He was in great shape, but his regimen didn't change it at all. I'm not saying I eat all the most perfect things. I eat sometimes. And then I also have a tendency of cleansing myself out most of the time. And then I have periods where I'm just eating nothing but fruit and water, no more food. But when I want to eat some garbage, I do have a tendency to clean myself out the next day and begin that process and stick to it until I feel no more mucus or anything in my left or right nostril. But yeah, that's one of the main things that keep us, from changing our ways. Because even in an environment where the food is shit, and the corner stores sell the same stuff, and it's all maltodextrin stuff, and it's all sodium based. Even in those areas, there's still ground, there's still grass, there's still, there's something that can be done. But psychologically, the people have to even think like that. But with all, like what we mentioned earlier in this conversation, that there's so many choices, it's hard for people to reasonably just focus on one way of taking in information. So people, it takes a lot. Most of the time, this type of attentive and preventive maintenance is retroactive. No, it's really preventive. It, 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 I can't stand that trait about our community. It's the stubbornness, the unwillingness to just try a little bit of something different. Please, you know, thought it would have been here longer if we would have tried it. I do say personally.
Yeah, definitely. So that that's something that I think we all have experienced in one way or another with somebody within our families, that or friends, and it's such a disheartening thing, because I remember what I had to go through to get, and I'm not even there, to the level of probably, Marcia or Brother Gary or anything, but because one of my greatest fights that I'm fighting is my eating habits, and now I have lost 100 pounds, but I'm still considered overweight, because I'm still having bad eating habits. One of my main things is sugar. That sugar is worse than cocaine. And you find it in everything. I love ketchup so damn much, and when I found out how much sugar is in ketchup, I damn near had a heart attack before it even came the right way. I was like, what? It's like everything that I've loved throughout the years is like is the worst for me, and now I have to take it away from. I'm used to people taking shit from me, but I gotta take the shit from myself. That fight is that David and Goliath type fight, that all of us are out here having, and I'll be a hypocrite to tell you that I'm presenting this information and I follow it completely to the T. I'm fighting the fight along with y'all. I'm giving you the information just in case if you haven't figured it out just yet, because I haven't figured it out all the way yet. So maybe you can do something with yourself, in the process of me trying to figure it out. Because the information's out there. The question is, are you willing to put forth the effort? Are you gonna stop fighting yourself and actually, do something about it? But it's disheartening, but we got to keep moving forward. It's a strong force that's driving all of us in this new age of Aquarius, and I think is gonna lead us to great things. All right. So with that said, high cholesterol. Sis, you want to take us with this?
Yeah. So while cholesterol is a natural aspect of metabolic processes and functioning, high levels of bad cholesterol, also known as LDL or low density lipoproteins, are associated with life threatening strokes, pulmonary diseases, and even debilitating fatigue and energy loss. So, because activated charcoal lowers the levels of total lipids, cholesterol, and triglycerides in the blood, it has a significant effect on minimizing bad cholesterol. Pharmaceutical drugs are usually prescribed to perform the same function. While cholesterol has a bad reputation for being the main contributor to poor health, the body actually requires cholesterol in order to perform a variety of functions, the most important being the maintenance of cell membranes and structure. Cholesterol is also essential for making a number of critical hormones such as cortisol, testosterone, and estrogen. Your body usually makes enough cholesterol on its own to perform these functions. But you can also get cholesterol from the foods you eat. Unfortunately, you can take in an excess of cholesterol by making poor food choices, which leads to a myriad of health problems. When activated charcoal is introduced into the system, topically or orally, the main components of the substance are introduced directly into the bloodstream. So, with this detoxifying capabilities, it can, it can it can eliminate unhealthy impurities in the blood, like LDL, and promote healthier blood content and blood flow.
Those are facts. Those are facts. So once we come to that understanding, of how much we require to have cholesterol, but the problem is that we're introducing even a higher amount of cholesterol that's giving us pretty much an overdose of cholesterol. That is wreaking havoc on our system. We realize, that is it's us. We're killing ourselves with our own hand, and our ignorance is what's driving the car. So once we get it together, you know, each one teach one. I offer you the information, offer the information to somebody else. Everybody else, once we understand, even the simplest concept of what this concepts that the doctor been talking to us about, but we never really believe the doctor, because in our subconscious, we're, doc, it can't be that bad if the government is allowing to have McDonald's on every corner. We get it, doc. We get it that the fast food is bad for us and it raises our cholesterol level, but it can't be that bad if they have them all over the place. They wouldn't do that to us. Now we know they could do that to us. They would do that to us, and they have been doing that to us. You know what I mean? So it also helps with high cholesterol, and it's profound to be able to know that there's something we could do instead of running to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So
You
I
have
was
any?
mentioning earlier, I eat some junk, and the next day after I finish eating the junk, I stuff out because it's still a growing process, trying to maintain that discipline. And I've had periods where for months I just nothing but green, veggies, chlorophyll, raw foods, raw fruits, everything that actually got seeds in it. For months I did that. Now, then it spanned into a year. And then sometimes when I reset and eat some cheese pizza or some chicken wings or some mess like that, I know I did wrong. I know I didn't do right, but I still keep in mind that okay, God willing, inshallah, in 7 days I'll be able to refresh something. So I might as well just go out there. And and I jog and I work out too. So that helps. It does help a lot.
Yeah, Dr.
So
Sabi said it best, I think when he mentioned that, I know this big platter of beans is bad, of refried beans is bad for me, but every so
mhm.
often I just have to indulge in it. But then I stay away from it for at least a month or later, so I could give my body the chance to detox. And it's that discipline. Somebody had mentioned discipline. The sister Salima Ellis, she had mentioned discipline, and that is one of the things that we lack of. We are overindulging in so many things. And once we gain discipline to be able to just minimize these bad habits we have, we'll be in a better position. But
Mhm.
I'll go to the next one if nobody has anything else to add. This should be a good one that everybody might want to interact with or whatever, because body odor has been, a big problem for us. Is like, you gotta stop yourself from sweating, Taz. You stink too much. You just get you an antiperspirant and that'll do it. Like, okay. So Battle's body odor, it says one of the most searched for personal care items all communities seek within the aisles of different drugstores is body odor relieving products. By buying soaps, lotion, deodorants, and perfume, countless people worldwide contribute to the multi-billion-dollar industries that promise to deliver an artificial, sweet-smelling alternative to the body's natural and sometimes not so sweet scent. Body odor has many causes, including excessive sweating, stressful situations, poor dietary habits, neglectful hygiene practices, and even the use of certain medications. Yes, family, your medication will make you stink. Deodorizing products may seem safe because they are regularly used by a majority of the population, but several studies have determined that their use or overuse can usually cause the body to produce more smelling bacteria and rid the body of healthy bacteria that would normally combat body odor. A great example can be found in Belgium, where a controlled clinical trial compared two groups, one that uses deodorant and one that abstains from the use of deodorant for a period of 8 weeks. The conclusion was simple. Wearing antiperspirant has a big effect on the bacterial ecosystem in our armpits because the main ingredient in 90% of deodorant is aluminum zirconium trichlor hold on, trichlorohydrex glee, which stops the body from sweating. When activated charcoal is consumed and applied topically, the benefit not only include a reduction in the toxicity of the bloodstream and the digestive system, but also the removing of unhealthy bacterial and microorganisms on the skin surface that contributes to the development of foul-smelling body odor. And within that book that I mentioned that I read, there is a recipe in there to make your own spray bottle of deodorant that you could utilize through the use of activated charcoal. If not, you could always call on contact Sister Marcia Owens and get you one of her. And I think Diatomaceous earth might be my next subject as well, sis, because uh, is so relevant and equal in the uses and benefits as activated charcoal.
We got a bag of that in the living room.
Yeah, I keep at least 10 pounds of diatomaceous earth. It has so many uses. It's phenomenal. Make sure it's food grade and
Right.
not pool grade. Yeah, food grade. It I can't even begin to tell y'all how. I'll tell y'all one story about diatomaceous earth. My daughter was deployed and she left her house to my other daughter. Now this is a brand new house built from the ground. Before she came back, my other daughter had managed to attract roaches in my daughter's new house. So my husband said, go over there and take the diatomaceous earth and tell her to spread it all around the house. And if she can pump some into the walls. And she did that. And it's been a good 3 years. I haven't seen a cockroach since.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So diatomaceous earth is so good that it can remove pests out of your area. It's good to ingest as well because it goes and it kills parasites, which is so amazing. That's why I use it in my deodorant. I was using bentonite clay stains. Diatomaceous earth is a white powdery substance, but diatomaceous earth has more benefits to it. It kills that bacteria. And that's what you want to do. You want to kill the bacteria. And of course, I use the tea tree and the lavender essential oil to do the exact same thing. And it gives a little bit of scent, but a natural scent. So I try to stay away from fragrance oils unless I have to. If somebody requests it, I'll use it, but I try to go in the opposite direction if I can. As far as me having, because I don't wear perfumes anymore, my friend at Aries Apothecary, she does a lot with herbalism and magic, but she makes this dragon's blood oil spray. And I usually spray it in the air and walk around it 3 times. And I love the smell of dragon's blood. And I have the sage bundles as well of dragon's blood. So that is my go-to scent that I like, which is a natural thing. It's not a chemical. So you gotta pick and choose your battles. But when that thing you just read about body odor, the first thing I thought about was that Axe, that Axe spray that the guys be wearing. And I've heard so many women complaining about how disgusting that stuff is. And I'm just like, because they say they just be spraying it on like it's deodorant or something. I'm like, ew. And it's too heavy. And I'm real sensitive. So even though I make a bunch of essential oil inhalers, any scent that's not natural, if you walk past me, I just like stop in my tracks and be looking like, why you got that on? And so much of it. And I don't think people realize that people like me who are scent sensitive, they can actually send me to the toilet. So people just do the same stuff every day. They're not even conscious of it. And I don't want to smell like somebody else. I think that's insanity. So you go in the store and what you finna say?
What would you say about your competitor, Dr. Squatch? Would you say that they have a fair competitive product, or do you say that they lack
I
something?
do know them, and they do. I do know them. We are buddies, so I can say yes.
Oh boy! All right, you guys are got some Dr. Squatch in the room.
Yes,
so my God.
I can say yes to that. I do collaborate with them sometimes, so I do have what they have.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, so they're a real good company. They're honest people, and their stuff works. So yeah, it's a few people out here that are honest about what they make. Some people their marketing is so extreme, you know, and you might be like, oh, maybe they're not 100%, but they are. So yeah, Dr. Squatch is one of them that I can vouch for.
But now with your product, that makes you better than their product is you actually have a higher content of some substances that the body needs, right? They have to kind of abide by, so they're kind of limited compared to your product.
So right? Yes, they are limited because they're doing what we call legal formulations. So some stuff you can make in house and it can be a certain way, but when you start mass producing, you have to do what's called legal formulation. So then that's when you come into having to use the preservatives. So not with the soap though. The soap, they're fine. Their soap is amazing. I have some of their soap, so that's why I can tell you I can vouch for them. Another good soap they have that they make is called pine tar soap. Pine tar is old school, but pine tar soap is amazing. Now I do have that as well.
What flavor is this? Well, not flavor, but what? It looked like candy. I want to eat it.
That's Raspberry Rush.
Raspberry Rush.
Yeah, it's got a fruity scent to it. There's some people like scents, colors, and bubbles. So I got to get the people what they want.
That's not common.
But now, if you were to ask me what I would recommend as my most all natural soap, and that would be the one my husband actually makes, which is the shungite or the goat's milk. Those are his two recipes. He don't even give it to me. I know what's in it, but I don't know how to mix it together. That's something he does. I leave him to that.
Facts. And for the other one, for the one that she's speaking in regards about, is
the goat's milk soap.
Yeah, this is the only thing my son utilizes. All right, my 1-year-old. This is since he was born. This is I've never bought soap because I purchased enough supply to last me for the baby.
Right.
So it's still being used. I still have some. I even have some of the other ones that because all of the scents that the sis has, to be completely honest, it ain't because I know her. It's because I fuck with her products. This stuff, it smells amazing. It's not gonna mess up your skin. You ain't gonna have to rush to the hospital for none of that stuff. It's so. If I'm not mistaken, I think in a Crumb TV episode you mentioned the fact, and I am not telling you to do so, family. I'm just giving you, something to put your mind to or whatever. But her things are made with fruit products to the point that even if you were to swallow or eat a piece of it, there is nothing going to happen to you because they're that natural. Right. Natural, because the ingredients that she's using for them are just that way. They're from nature. They're from nature themselves.
Yeah, and that goat's milk soap was originally made because My husband's classmate has a niece that has severe eczema, and her family spent a lot of money trying a whole lot of different products, and so she asked, could we formulate her a soap? And my husband was like, well, I'll do it. So he made the goat's milk soap because we found that that was the closest to the cells of the skin, the pH of the skin. And then he put honey in it, moringa, sea salt. So he put a lot of good nourishing things in it for the skin. And she's been using that soap almost 5 years. But before, they couldn't use anything. They even tried to use the African black soap, and she said it burnt her skin, which I can understand that. So I was like, okay, so that's the soap I always give to people that I know when they have babies. I try to get them that soap because it's very gentle on the skin. And there's a story that says the queen herself, Cleopatra, often bathed in goat's milk.
Ooh. Okay.
So goat's milk is, and most people, if they know about it and they have to use formula, if they know about it, they usually put their kids on goat's milk formula.
Oh yeah, that's the only, my wife is breastfeeding,
Right.
but since she does go to work, she has to pump, and the pumping is not the same as the suckling of a child. So
Right.
she's only able to extract a certain amount from her. So to supplement that, and the reason why we haven't been so affected, not that we haven't been affected, but we haven't been so affected by this shortage of formula, is because what we use is goat milk formula. So to help in the supplement of
Right.
whenever we don't have enough, because other than that, my son is completely breastfed. But
Right.
that goat milk formula, it's out there, family. You better get hip to it if you have children. I could tell you that the one that I use is called cabrita. Cabrita is cabra means goat in Spanish. All right.
Okay.
So it's called cabrita with a K. All right. So anybody that's looking out there for a formula that's good for your child, and you could give it to them from the beginning, from birth all the way until whenever the hell you want to, or whatever, is cabrita is very goat milk. Period. Our digestive system takes better to it than the lactose than from
Yep.
the milk. So we know that the vast majority of people that of color, we're lactose intolerant. Anything
Yes.
that you give us with lactose is gonna mess us up. So if you
Hmm.
have that problem, maybe try some goat's milk. Just a thought. I mean, I don't know. Consult your doctor, ask your doctor. But I use goat milk. Just to put it out there for the family or whatever. But those are facts. If you want your goat milk, so please contact the brother, contact Sister Marcia, because I can vouch for those products. I definitely can and do vouch for those products. But that leaves us with a body odor, and I might just go with a couple more slides because I don't want to keep you guys here. There's so much more to the presentation, but I just looked up and I'm like, whoa, we're about
Yeah,
to hit.
we're in the third hour.
Yeah, we're about to hit the 3 hour mark. So and I still have a plethora of other ones, but we could probably do a secondary to because we still got to talk about disinfecting the wounds,
Yep.
detoxifying your system. It alleviates cirrhosis. It traps impurities in the waters, as we have talked before. Liver damages, it actually helps it. It helps out with bug bites, as well as sinus health, which is something that the vast
Mhm.
majority of us have issues with. And there's also beauty benefits that I want to incorporate with you guys. We're going to talk about the beauty industries, because it treats acne. All right, if you want to get you a facial of activated cold powder, you could do that as well. It whitens your teeth. We just finished talking about cleaning the mouth out. So it helps with varicose veins. A lot of people suffer from those things because of bad circulation in their veins.
Right.
hair growth, and cleansing of the hair. It helps out. It helps that with that as well. So I think we're gonna get into that in the second part. We're at the 3 hour mark, so I do want to leave it right there just to keep it for the family. And do stay tuned, family, because once we get to the second part of this, I already have a third part ready for you, and we're going to talk about the science of water. And if you think you know what water is, I am about to drop a nuke in your head in a way that you're gonna be like, Taz, I don't know what you did, but you got me this time. But we are gonna talk about, the science of water once we get through with the second part, because we had so much great input. We had so much knowledge, so much wisdom being provided by Marcia Owens, and the brother Dave from Dave's Co. I greatly appreciate you guys, for holding on with us for 3 hours strong. It was a great show. I hope that that I get the honor of having you guys for the second part. If you guys are available. If not, it'll be something that Sis and I will definitely finish up. With that said, any closing words, Sister Marcia, you want to tell the people, any information, closing statements, where they could find your products, how they could reach out to you and stuff?
I do want to throw a master herbalist out there to everybody. His name is Yahssini Hickman. He did study with Dr. Sebi and his family, but he's like Dr. Sebi to the 10th power. So that's Yahssini Hickman, Yahki Hickman, and you can find him on Facebook, YouTube, and he's got his own website. He's a master herbalist. He actually gets his herbs from the source, so he has to have them brought through customs and take his lawyer, and he didn't got death threats and all that. So he like Dr. Sebi on steroids. That's
crazy that you would mention, not to cut you off or whatever. But we were grabbing pictures from your we follow him. Well, at least Sis and I follow him. And and we went to your page, and we saw him tag you on a video. I'm like, holy shit, Marcia knows about this dude. I'm like, the connection is like. But you wanted to say something, Sister Yahssini, to add to that? I'm pretty sure it was something similar to what I'm saying. You're muted, sis. Sis, you're muted. You're muted.
Does he go by Yahki Awakened? Is what?
Yes, that's YahkiAwakened.com. Yes,
we love him.
Yeah. So everybody should be following him, listening to his videos, doing whatever he tell you to do. He knows, like, he don't just know about herbs. He literally knows about the body. He can read them reports. He can go in the lab and do it. He just like, he's way beyond. He on another stratosphere with his knowledge. Yes, his knowledge ain't even in the earth realm. It's somewhere else.
I've been visiting him for a month now.
We are blessed to have him on this planet at this time when everything is going crazy. We need somebody like him, and we definitely needed somebody to follow behind Dr. Sebi in his footsteps, and Yahki is it.
He is.
Most definitely. I seen him do a build with Crystal Alkaline Doula.
Yeah.
She's another herbalist as well, and the information was just explosive, and it I agree with you. We've been watching him with Sis and I, and we've been dabbling with his material, and he's just on another level. His stature, his content, his information is just on another level. But go ahead, Sis. I didn't want to cut you off or whatever.
No, that's okay. Marcia Harris Owens of Common Sense. And I'm along with Black Star Organite, my husband. He makes all the crystal gemstones, art pieces. And if you need anything custom made, he can make it too. We have the best quality around with the lowest prices. And I'll just be honest, because I've priced everybody else's stuff. It's not the money. It's really not. It's the knowledge. My Soapapalooza group is where you'll find the soap. Now, you want to put up my Common Sense group. that's where all the information is at that I've been storing for the last 10 years. So Common Sense, COMMONSCENTS. And on the main page, you'll see a bunch of my products. That's when you'll know you're in the right group, and it's a public group. Right. But I got tons and tons of information. You can just go in the search bar and type something in, and say you want to know how to make your own laundry detergent. You can type that in, and it'll show right up. Wow. So I got everything in there. Everything that I've learned in the last 7 to 8 years is in there because the information was free for me to get it. So that's how I'm giving it back out.
That's right. Mm-hmm. I joined your group today.
Okay. I want some soap.
Yeah.
So I want everybody to be empowered to know that they can help themselves. And I definitely focus a lot on men's health because men, they suffer in silence a lot. And even with their skin, they have the same skin we have. It's just in a different shape. They need to have days where they go and get pampered and massaged and detox and go in the spa and get their toes and nails done. They need to do all of that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Your body, your skin is your largest organ. You have to maintain it. So men feel like they don't have to do all that, but they should. So I want to make sure we all have a safe place. If there's anybody that needs to talk to me, I'm available. My phone number is 757-383-0202. I'm in Virginia, 757-383-0202. If you go on my website and you don't see something, call me. It's probably not on there because I haven't figured out how to load it. I'm not the computer person. So I do have the stuff. It's just not loaded up. So you can just call me and ask me questions. And if I have to find the answer for you, I will. I have many resources. So let's all try to help each other. Don't be so judgmental. Everybody has a way of doing things. Like my Berkey you see in the back, that might not be your thing. You understand what I'm saying? I might use a Berkey. And now I have a friend who has that alkaline water machine. I can't even think of the name of it right now. You can set it to different pH levels. And so he'll talk about that and I'll just be over here silent because that's not my thing. You know, so, but I'm not going to bash him for buying it. That's what you bought with your money. This is what I bought with mine.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, I see the message. I'm gonna get to it when we get off. But I saw you sent me a couple of messages. Thank you. Oh yeah, that blueberry scrub smell like Now Laters. Old school candy.
All right, little something.
Here's her information if you want to contact her.
Yes.
Right there as well as her ingredients.
And I'm always running specials. I'm always giving away free products when you buy stuff. So I'm just one of them people. I'm trying to help everybody with what I have. And I just like helping people. That's just what I do. Yesterday I was on the Zoom meeting with a lady who wanted to start her teenage daughter into the soap business. So she wanted to give me a call and find out what all she needed to do. I try to help children to start soap businesses. That's the easiest business they can start as far as I'm concerned. So I got a trick that they can use to get up and running faster. And as long as they got support from family and friends to like make sure they're getting to their shows and making sure their advertisement is being, put up frequently, they can be very successful at it with pretty minimal effort. So I just need y'all to get them to me. If y'all got some children, y'all want them to start being small business owners, just get them to me and I'll go from there and then we'll work together to get them up and running. And it doesn't take long.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Most definitely. Thank you so much for that information, sis. It's always explosive when you're in the in the building. So I appreciate all that information and everything that you do for the community. You are one in a million, just like everybody else that's doing something as special as you are. We appreciate you and we love you for that. With that said, brother Day, any last words? What would you like to tell the family, where they could find you? What do you what did you get out of the show? You know, are we gonna see you again? You know, we love the information you provide. We love your products. I love your products because I know I use them. So
I appreciate you very much, the Tazz Show, Tazz. You can find me on IG, Instagram, Dice Raul, Advisor Gary Day, Loose Lips Larry, all on Instagram, Loose Lips Larry or Larry Loose Lips. You can also find me on Facebook as Dice Raul Varnenheit or Gary Abdul Aziz Day on Facebook. Or you can find me as Sharif78 or Sharif7 on TikTok. Or you can just simply type in Days Cole on YouTube and I'm there. They're all commercials. So if you want to order Days Cole, send a message, leave a message, say something, yell at me, holler, do something. That way I can communicate directly for you and look out for the reply, because I'm all over my phone, all over the laptop. I do respond to every single person that says anything, because every single sale, every transaction, is a one-on-one until completion.
thank you so much for that, brother. And hopefully we get a chance to see you for the second part. Please be sure to go get your Days Code. We're trying to get Days Code in the world. If I'm not mistaken, brother, you have Days Code in Germany and Europe, don't you? In other parts of Europe?
Yeah, Germany, United Kingdom, Trinidad. We got it in Germany, United Kingdom, Scotland. I'm trying to get it over there to Sweden, and I'm trying to get it Australia. I already did Alaska, got Quebec, Montreal, New Mexico, Cuba, got there, Ecuador. So I'm trying to get it out to a lot of places. Days Cole is going to be inside everybody. And I do this on purpose. It looks very rudimentary, very simple, and I do it on purpose because there's no bells and whistles here. You're getting exactly what you paid for. You get the coal in the jar. You don't get the bells and whistles. You get the coal in the jar. The magic happens inside you. So it looks like somebody put it together by hand because I did. That's exactly what happens. And I don't mind if I get a bulk of orders because I handle that accordingly, and I can put that energy into it. I got a lot of energy to give.
Most definitely, most definitely. And those are his two jars that he sells. He sells the personal jar and the family jar. Correct, correct. So we thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you for that. And one thing before I move on to everybody else, please contact also Marcia Harris Owens for the organites that her husband does, which are beautiful. They're absolutely amazing. They help in many, many ways. And I'm actually going to do a whole PowerPoint on her on Organite and Shungite, you know, and hopefully we could have Rod the Moore himself join us to give us some of his wisdom. The brother is well versed. He has a science to these elements that is completely and absolutely amazing. Contact Marcia for any details in regards about this. And she actually has ooh, hold on, sis, let me put you in. Wow, see, that's beautiful, sis. That's just that's beautiful. And I could tell the size of it just by what you were. You're muted, sis.
Am I gonna have to pay $400 for that?
No, the $400 one is over in that box. That sucker's huge and heavy.
Oh my God. Okay.
I could barely lift that one up. He has to bring that one out.
Clarity.
Wow. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's
like different worlds. Type of world. It's so awesome.
Yeah, some of his pieces glow in the dark too. So don't be freaked out Because I remember I sent one to a lady and I didn't know it glowed in the dark. And she was in the bathroom calling me, talking about, I think something extraterrestrial is going on. I was like, wow, my piece is glowing. What?
Wow.
I got to ask my husband, what did you put in there? Oh, yeah, I put the glow powder in there. You need to tell me this.
So yeah, the brother does have beautiful designs, and if I'm not mistaken, if you contact him with a specific design, he will be able to provide that design if it's at his disposal.
Yes. And for like our big aunt pendants, even though we don't do the wire wrap like that, we do have someone who does it for us. And they're real close to my house, like 5 minutes away. And they can wrap it for you. And they freehand wrap. His name is Freestone, Phre, Freestone. And if you check him out on Facebook, he's very unique at what he does. And he's very humble. So I like working with him. So that's another artist. If you're looking for copper wrapped jewelry, that's strictly copper wrapping, that's who I would recommend. Freestone, Phre.
Okay.
And I recommend him because he's a stand-up guy. He just had a baby, and his wife, she's deaf, and so they signed together, and he learned sign language because of her. So it's just a so beautiful love story. I love spending time with them.
Thank
Wait,
you.
is her whole family speaking?
Him and his wife do. I know her relatives speak it with her. I don't know if his relatives do though.
Oh, because I saw another couple. This lady's whole family was deaf. They all spoke sign language.
Oh no. She's the only one.
Oh, I think that's amazing to know. I can't do it.
It is. And sometimes he'll do like a whole song for her and he'll make the video and let us watch it. It is so beautiful.
That's sound.
Yeah.
Man, I had a good time tonight, guys.
Most
I'm gonna go ahead and clear it. I am ready and available for the next.
Thank you so much for being
It was very good meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Most definitely. Peace and love.
Peace
and love.
Go ahead, brother. You have any closing statements, sis, before we close it out?
Oh.
Sister Yahssini, my apologies.
No, I mean, I'm so glad I was here with you today, Tazz, because these are now my two favorite people. I learned so much for them, and I'm sure the chat feels the same way. This was just overwhelming stuff, because when Tazz came to me, I'd never heard of the activated charcoal. And then when he showed me the sister's website today, I was in awe of that too. And so I'm glad I made some new friends here. And me and Tazz, we're gonna keep doing our thing. You know, this is just gonna propel us to the next level, and the next level. And I'm just glad I was here today and not there.
Most definitely. Well, thank you for all of that. Once again, this is Vitamin C Part 2. Expect Part 2.5 of the Science of Activated Charcoal coming to you guys soon. And the sis just brought that's a meteor.
Oh my God. Wow.
Oh, she can't even. That is a meteor.
Y'all not playing around. I gotta be on my altar one day. One day, hopefully.
Oh, there's an unk right within it. Look. Whoa.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, most definitely. You're muted, sis. You're
You
muted.
really, we can still feel your energy.
Yeah, you're muted. We can't hear you.
But we can feel
This one he said glows in the dark at the top.
Oh, okay.
At the very tip. And then you have the Ankh in it, and then you have the Eye of Horus in it.
Right.
Those are beautiful. Those are definitely beautiful. Thank you so much for that. We're gonna definitely make sure that the family gets a hold of all of that. And with that said, it was a great pleasure. We're gonna close this one out under Vitamin C Part 2, the Science of Activated Charcoal. and we're going to leave you guys the same exact way that we came to you guys, in peace.
It's raw carbon straight from the Atlantic Ocean. Here it is in my hand. I crush it up into powder form, activated and insulated with coconut husk, and make it ready and prepared, available for you. Unless you want metals in your life.
Brother, I wrote about the stars. I wrote about the moon. I wrote about things in the sky that go boom. I wrote about death. I wrote about life. I wrote in the morning, afternoon, and at night. I constantly search for new ideas. I talk to my elders, my friends, and my peers. I study astronomy, history, and religion. My analytical mind is constantly on a mission, struggling and striving for the perfect poem, bracing myself for the perfect brainstorm. The more that I write, the more that I note. My best poem yet is yet to be wrote. Yeah, Yahssini.
Holy moly donut shop, huh? Say to the guys, holy moly donut shop.
Holy moly donut shop. Holy moly. 40 leave them like a donut. Holy pull up in shoe like Geno. Can't wear the rollie without the polo. Holy moly. 40 leave them like a donut.
God, I wish I never spoke. Now I gotta wash my mouth out with soap.